Chapter 889. He descended from the sky like a celestial being. The young Great Emperor's first attack made Lin Feng feel threatened. Break! Lin Feng roared. His path of supremacy was to sweep away all enemies and be invincible. So what if the young Great Emperor was invincible? Even the young Great Emperor might not have been stronger than him during his tribulation. This was the importance of the Tao. If he didn't have the Tao to support his belief, he might have collapsed when he felt the young Great Emperor's aura. However, with the path of supremacy, Lin Feng established his belief. Supremacy, invincibility, sky rend, sword intent, condensed. The sword and saber merged and slashed at the young Great Emperor. Clang. The two attacks collided, and a destructive shockwave spread out from the center of the collision. Lin Feng was swept by the shockwave and was sent flying. The young Great Emperor was also sent flying. Swoosh! The young Great Emperor didn't stop, and he charged at Lin Feng again. With a wave of his hand, he seemed to be able to shatter the heavens, and he slashed at Lin Feng. In the void, a dazzling killing light condensed and tore through the sky, enveloping Lin Feng. What a powerful attack! Lin Feng could feel the destructive power in the attack. The destructive power was hidden within the killing light. Once it exploded, it would be like a thunderbolt. As expected of the young Great Emperor's attack, it was powerful. This time, Lin Feng used the immemorial divine ability, Star-Plucking Hand. The hand plucked the stars and captured the sun and moon. A huge palm condensed in the void and grabbed at the young Great Emperor's killing light. The immemorial Star-Plucking Hand could even pluck stars from outer space, let alone an attack condensed from a divine ability. Crack! As expected, the immemorial star-plucking palm caught the killing light that the young Great Emperor had unleashed. Then, it shattered. Jin Shengyuan said in shock, "Brother Feng can suppress a young Great Emperor at the same level? Isn't he too strong?" The Fire Crow replied, "This is just the beginning. The young Emperor won't just be this weak." As if to verify Fire Crow's words, the young Great Emperor walked towards Lin Feng step by step. Whoosh! Suddenly, one split into two, two into four, four into eight. There were hundreds of young Great Emperors. It was hard to tell which one was real and which one was fake. Hundreds of young Great Emperors charged towards Lin Feng, swinging their divine fists at Lin Feng. Pooh! This time, Lin Feng suffered a blow. His body shifted horizontally while his body was drenched in blood. The young Great Emperor's attack had injured Lin Feng. Even Lin Feng couldn't tell which of the Great Emperors was the real one. The young Great Emperor obviously didn't want to give Lin Feng a chance to catch his breath and quickly chased after him. Hundreds of figures attacked Lin Feng together. Lin Feng was sent flying again, but this time, his injuries were even more severe. His left arm was almost chopped off, and there was a bloody hole in his abdomen. Lin Feng quickly retreated, dodging the young Great Emperor's thunderous attacks. At the same time, Lin Feng began to circulate his immortal body to heal his injuries. However, Lin Feng's expression changed when he realized that a strange power was preventing his immortal body from healing his body. Clearly, this strange power had been left in Lin Feng's body when the young Great Emperor had injured Lin Feng earlier. All powers in the world were mutually reinforcing and counteracting each other. And now, Lin Feng's immortal body was being suppressed by the young Great Emperor. Since the young Great Emperor couldn't use his immortal body's ability to heal his body, Lin Feng was in great danger. Jin Shengyuan could also see the danger Lin Feng was in. He said worriedly, "Brother Feng can't use his special constitution, and the young Great Emperor's attacks are so strange. How will Brother Feng block the young Great Emperor's attacks?" Huiya's expression turned grave. It was indeed what Jin Shengyuan was worried about. In Huiya's opinion, if Feng Lin couldn't even use his special constitution, then Lin Feng would most likely die. The young Great Emperor attacked Lin Feng again. Numerous figures appeared and charged at Lin Feng. It was this strange and terrifying move again, as expected of the young Great Emperor. He's really powerful. Lin Feng took a deep breath. This time, he didn't try to dodge, as there was no way to do so. The space between his eyebrows started to blink. Swoosh! Next, the heavenly demon snake eye opened. The heavenly demon snake eye was known as the Eye of Origin. It could see through all illusions. Heavenly demon Snake Eye, Huoyu exclaimed. Jin Shengyuan had heard of the heavenly demon Snake Eye before. He also exclaimed, Brother Feng actually has the heavenly demon Snake Eye? That's the Eye of Origin. With the heavenly demon Snake Eye's power, the young great emperor's strange technique will be useless. The instant the heavenly demon Snake Eye opened, Lin Feng saw the figures disappear one after another. Only the young great emperor was left in the world. It was the young great emperor's true body. Swoosh! Lin Feng charged over. The Dao in his left hand was destroyed, and the Dao in his right hand was destroyed. The two Dao characters attacked the young great emperor. Bang! The young great emperor was sent flying. All the fake bodies disappeared, and only the real body remained. After taking Lin Feng's attack, the young great emperor's body became much more illusory. Lin Feng rushed forward, wanting to kill the young great emperor. However, the young great emperor formed a hand seal. Great Emperor's Seal. This was an emperor's technique created by the great emperor. It was invincible as it attacked Lin Feng. Lin Feng, who was enveloped by the emperor's technique, felt like his body no longer belonged to him. His body began to crack. Not good. The young great emperor knows an emperor's technique. Emperor's technique is an inheritance from the ancient times. It's a supreme technique created by a great emperor. Now that the young great emperor is using an emperor's technique, I'm afraid that kid is going to die. Jin Xingyuan's expression changed drastically. He said, Senior, please save Brother Feng. Huoya said, cultivators need to resist the heavenly tribulation themselves, not others. If others help, an even more terrifying heavenly tribulation will descend. When the time comes, death will be inevitable. Then what should we do? Jin Xingyuan's face was pale. He looked at Lin Feng anxiously. The young great emperor's seal was a terrifying emperor's technique. It hadn't even hit Lin Feng, but Lin Feng was already severely injured. If the attack landed on Lin Feng's body, what kind of injuries would he suffer? He would probably die instantly. Is this an emperor's technique? Lin Feng looked grave and dignified. He also knew that it was a moment of life and death. His 5 devouring martial spirits revolved. Lin Feng's fighting strength increased 5-fold. I'll let you have a taste of my supreme technique. Lin Feng's eyes were ice-cold. Supreme Reincarnation Fist, shouted Lin Feng in a deep voice. He took a step forwards and threw a punch. Lin Feng's Sovereign's Path began to revolve. The ancient dragonesque elephant technique, the 5 Emperor's Dragon Fists, the Great Purification Technique, the Sky Tyrant Lightning Technique, the ancient Star Plucking Hand, and many other secret techniques revolved around the Sovereign's Path. Cultivators who had a path would obtain a powerful ability after breaking through to the creation realm. It was an ability that was given to them by the path. However, cultivators could also use their own Tao to comprehend and create their own divine abilities. Since ancient times, which great emperor's technique had been given to them by the path? None at all. Every great emperor's technique had been created based on their own path. It had been perfected over time. Emperor's techniques were much more powerful than the abilities given to them by the path. After Lin Feng established his path, he began to practice his supreme technique. The Supreme Reincarnation Fist was a supreme technique created by Lin Feng. It was Lin Feng's first time using the Supreme Reincarnation Fist. When the Supreme Reincarnation Fist was used, the sound of a conch being blown and the longevity bell rang out between heaven and earth. The potential to become a great emperor. Heavens, that kid actually has the potential to become a great emperor. Rumor has it that when a cultivator with the potential to become a great emperor appears, the sound of a conch being blown and the longevity bell will ring. Huoya cried out in shock. Bang! Lin Feng's Supreme Reincarnation Fist collided with the young great emperor's seal. Boom! It was as if 2 planets had collided. An energy shockwave capable of destroying the world spread out. Lin Feng and the young great emperor were both sent flying. After the collision, Lin Feng stood in the air, bent over, and gasped for breath. Chapter 890. I've finally broken through. Lin Feng sighed in relief as he watched the heavenly tribulation dissipate. What surprised Lin Feng even more than his breakthrough was his self-created Supreme Reincarnation Punch. It had actually blocked an Emperor technique. What a great supreme reincarnation punch. Were you praised? Jin Shengyuan also flew over and said, Brother Feng, congratulations on breaking through. It was really difficult to break through this time. Lin Feng sighed and used his immortal body to heal his injuries. Then, Lin Feng looked at the fire crow and asked, Master, did that young man use a great emperor's skill? It was an emperor technique, but it wasn't an emperor technique, Huaya said. Lin Feng asked curiously, What do you mean? The fire crow said, The young great emperor's experience in creating emperor techniques was very similar to yours. When he was young, he comprehended his own Tao and created his own divine ability, which was the great emperor's seal. Later, as his cultivation increased, he continued to improve the great emperor's seal. When he broke through to the emperor realm, the great emperor's seal completed its final transformation and became a true emperor technique. Lin Feng said, I understand. Senior, are you saying that the young emperor's great imperial seal was in its initial state? It's equivalent to an embryonic form of an emperor technique? Huaya nodded and said, You can put it that way. Of course, you can also understand it in another way. As one's cultivation increases, the great imperial seal will be divided into many layers, each layer stronger than the last. The great imperial seal that the young emperor used just now was the first layer of the great imperial seal. Lin Feng said, My supreme reincarnation punch blocked the young emperor's great imperial seal. Does that mean that my supreme reincarnation punch will have the same power as the great imperial seal in the future? Huaya said, The complete great imperial seal is an emperor technique from the ancient times. If you can break through to the emperor realm, your supreme reincarnation punch will naturally be able to resist the great imperial seal. It might even be stronger than the great imperial seal. Taoist Flaming Crow was experienced and knowledgeable. He could already tell that Lin Feng's Tao was that of a paragon. If Lin Feng broke through to the emperor realm, if that was the case, then he would be a supreme emperor among emperors. Thus, it was natural that Lin Feng's supreme reincarnation fist was more powerful than the emperor's seal. Emperor realm, I'll definitely be able to do it. Lin Feng clenched his fists. Fire Crow and Jin Shengyuan continued their seclusion to refine the heavenly devil's origin. Lin Feng, on the other hand, was familiarizing himself with the increase in strength after his breakthrough. It could be said that Lin Feng had obtained great benefits from this breakthrough. Not only had his cultivation improved, but his willpower and confidence had also improved. The battle with the young great emperor had strengthened Lin Feng's belief in his Tao of supremacy. Jin Shengyuan was the first to refine the heavenly devil's origin. His cultivation level rose from the 6th level of the yin-yang realm to the 7th level of the yin-yang realm. Jin Shengyuan was 19 years old this year, but his strength had already reached the 7th level of the yin-yang realm. As expected of a genius from the demon clan, who had the blood of the golden-winged rock flowing in his body. After Jin Shengyuan broke through, Huaya also woke up from his seclusion a day later. Huaya's cultivation level was unfathomable, so Lin Feng and Jin Shengyuan didn't know if Huaya's cultivation level had increased after refining the heavenly devil's origin. Rumble. At this moment, a series of loud noises came from afar. A huge flying ship came through the sky. Lin Feng said in shock, A flying ship actually entered the death swamp? Which faction's flying ship is this? Why are they so daring? Time Cave. This is the flying ship of Tianzhou's Time Cave, Jin Shengyuan said. He recognized the sect insignia on the flying ship. Tianzhou was definitely a continent that had a thunderous reputation. Tianwu University's 63,000 continents. Tianzhou was one of the top 10 continents. Tianzhou had the most ancient factions. It was said that there were a total of 5 ancient factions. One had to know that there were only 2 ancient factions in the 72 northern continents. They were the Eternal Life Temple and the Barbarian Godly Temple. The Tianzhou, on the other hand, had 5 ancient forces. It was obvious just how powerful the Tianzhou was. Time Cave was one of the 5 great factions in Tianzhou. Tianzhou is over 100 continents away from the Death Swamp. Even if they used a space-time wormhole, it would take them a few years to cross the continents. Why would a cultivator from Time Cave come to the Death Swamp? Lin Feng was puzzled. For the Heavenly Devil Fruit, Huaya said. Heavenly Devil Fruit? What's that? Lin Feng asked. It's a sacred item of the Heavenly Devil Clan. Huoya's eyes glowed. The Heavenly Devil Clan? There really are Heavenly Devil Clans. Are they the descendants of the Heavenly Devils who escaped with serious injuries during the Middle Ages? Lin Feng asked in shock. Chaos during the Middle Ages? Huoya pursed his lips and said, the Heavenly Devil Clan is divided into many branches. The Heavenly Devil Clan that caused the chaos during the Middle Ages has already been killed. The Heavenly Devil Clan is a descendant of the Heavenly Devil Clan left behind in the Tianwu continent during the Great War of Gods and Demons. This clan is exceptionally powerful, but their ancestors made a blood oath that they would never leave the Death Swamp. Otherwise, the heavens would punish them, and they would be exterminated. Hiss! Lin Feng and Jin Shengyuan gasped. That oath was too vicious. Jin Shengyuan asked, why would the Heavenly Devil Clan's ancestor make such a vicious oath? Huoya replied, the Great War of Gods and Demons affected countless astral areas. Countless living beings died during that war. The Heavenly Devil Clan was the imperial clan of the Demon Clan. They were extremely powerful, but they also suffered great losses during that war. Later on, a branch of the imperial clan descended on the Tianwu continent. They wanted to unify the Tianwu continent and make it their home, but the Tianwu continent was full of strong cultivators. The 100 saints of the human clan appeared one after another, and the heavenly devils were forced to retreat. In the end, they signed a treaty with the 100 saints of the human clan, stating that the heavenly devils would never leave the Death Swamp. I see. Lin Feng and Jin Shengyuan nodded. The ancient era was one of the most glorious eras in the history of the Tianwu continent. Many terrifying cultivators had appeared, and the 100 saints of the human clan were the best examples. No matter how strong the heavenly devils were, they were still no match for the 100 saints of the human clan. The 100 saints of the human clan weren't just great in the ancient era. Even in the long history of the human clan, they could be called great. In the distance, the Time Cave's flying ship was flying over, said Huoya, smiling coldly. The Time Cave is underestimating the Swamp of Death. They're flying above the Swamp of Death so brazenly. Just wait and see. The Time Cave's people are going to be in big trouble. We'll just hide and watch the show. Huoya, Lin Feng, and Jin Shengyuan flew off into the distance and hid in a dense forest. Nay, the sound of horses neighing could be heard. In the distance, 3 stone horses were pulling a chariot. The stone man was standing on top of the chariot. When they saw the stone man, Huoya, Lin Feng, and Jin Shengyuan didn't dare make a sound. They were afraid that they would be discovered. That was a terrifying being that even Huoya couldn't fight against. We can hunt today, a cold voice said as the golden person rushed over. The skeleton wielding a treasured sword also flew over. It was filled with killing intent. I like delicious meat. What a feast, said Lin Feng. The swamp split open, and a terrifying being with 6 heads and 18 arms walked out. It looked like a demon. Heavens! What kind of race is that? When he saw that being, Lin Feng sucked in a cold breath. It seemed that there were far more terrifying beings in the deathly swamp than he had imagined. These terrifying beings had already appeared, but the people of the Time Cave hadn't. Chapter 891. That's an expert from the celestial demons. His name is Akajisia. Huoya whispered. Lin Feng and Jin Shengyuan nodded. No wonder the other party looked so strange. He was an expert from the celestial demons. It seemed that the celestial demons were much stronger than they had imagined. Why had the 100 saints of the ancient era signed an agreement with the celestial demons' ancestors to imprison them in the Swamp of Death instead of exterminating them? The reason was that the celestial demons were still very powerful even though they had been defeated. If the humans had really wanted to exterminate them, they would have had to fight back before they died. At that time, the humans would have lost countless lives. It seems that I've come at the right time. The 5th expert appeared. It was a demonic ape with 2 heads and a pair of wings. It was unknown what race it belonged to, but its aura wasn't any weaker than the others. It was another overlord of the Swamp of Death. Hiss! A 3,000-meter-long snake slithered over from the distance and turned into an exceptionally handsome man. The Snake King was also an overlord. The 6 experts didn't say much when they appeared. They just charged at the Time Cave ship. Huaya said, "They're all the top experts of the Swamp of Death. Even I am no match for them." Huaya was very strong. If even Huaya felt inferior, it was obvious how strong the 6 experts were. Lin Feng narrowed his eyes. How strange. Haven't the people of the Time Cave sensed anything? They didn't react at all. Jin Shengyuan also felt strange. Could it be that the people of the Time Cave are waiting for the 6 overlords to appear? Hurry up and leave, and I'll spare your lives. Otherwise, I'll make you bleed. At that moment, a cold voice was heard from the Time Cave ship. The experts of the Time Cave had discovered the 6 overlords. Lowly creatures, you're about to die, yet you still dare to boast shamelessly in front of us. You really don't know the meaning of death. You're all just prey for us. The Snake King flicked his forked tongue. Boom. The 6 overlords attacked at the same time. They used their supreme techniques and attacked the Time Cave ship. 9 frightening dragon strikes. A sea of rocks surged. An army of thousands. His killing intent was as vast as the sea. The wrath of Buddha destroyed the world. Heavenly Dipper God splitting slash. These 6 overlords were indeed incomparably powerful. Which of the divine abilities that they executed didn't possess the might to destroy heaven and earth? 6 divine abilities blasted towards the flying ship. Even with such a powerful flying ship, it was impossible for it to withstand the attacks of the 6 overlords. You're courting death. But in the face of such a terrifying attack, an ice-cold voice came from the Time Cave flying ship. That voice was filled with biting cold killing intent. Immediately after that, a middle-aged cultivator in snow-white clothes stepped out from the flying ship. He held a golden sword in his hand. 1 sword to destroy the world, 1 sword to wither, 1 sword to bury 100 eras, 1 sword to sever time. The white-robed cultivator wielded his sword and slashed towards the 6 overlords. Sword chi swept across the 6 powerhouses. The might of the sword chi was so powerful that it instantly destroyed the attacks of the 6 overlords. It's an imperial weapon, Lin Feng exclaimed. That was an aura that surpassed that of a divine weapon. It was an aura that made the great Dao lie dormant. Only an imperial weapon could emit such a terrifying aura. Jin Shengyuan said. It's the Time Sword. The Time Cave was created by a great emperor of the immemorial era, the flowing time great emperor before he ascended to the undying realm. This Time Sword is an imperial weapon refined by the flowing time great emperor. It seems like the flowing time great emperor left his imperial weapon to his descendants before he ascended. Imperial weapon, quickly retreat. The 6 hegemon level existences all cried out in horror. No matter how strong they were, they couldn't fight against an imperial weapon. If I let you escape so easily, where will my Time Cave put its face? The white-robed cultivator's voice was indifferent. Even when facing the overlords of the Death Swamp, he was still so domineering, as expected of an immemorial era power. Moreover, it was an immemorial era power that possessed an imperial weapon. Such a power was considered the strongest power in the 3,000 continents of the Sky Martial Continent. Time slash. The white-robed cultivator slashed out with his sword. That slash enveloped the 6 overlords. Time flew by. No matter how many years it was just a drop in the ocean. The time slash caused the 6 overlords to age rapidly. My lifespan instantly decreased by 3,000 years. The tiny golden person cried out in horror. Let's fight, let's fight. The other overlords were in a similar situation. Each of them spat out the essence blood in their body and used it to increase their battle strength. They joined forces to block the time slash. However, the sword chi still spread out and pierced through the 6 overlords' bodies. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Immediately after, the 6 overlords escaped with injuries. In the blink of an eye, they disappeared without a trace. The white-robed cultivator didn't chase after them. He returned to the flying ship. The flying ship continued to fly into the distance. Isn't this imperial weapon too strong? Lin Feng was dumbfounded. He could feel that although the white-robed cultivator was strong, there was still a huge gap between his strength and the 6 overlords. However, he was able to heavily injure the 6 overlords of the Death Swamp with his imperial weapon. This was the might of an imperial weapon. It was truly oppressive. If the imperial weapon's god was revived, it might really be able to slay a god. Lin Feng asked curiously. Imperial weapons are used to protect the sect's fate. They won't be used unless it's absolutely necessary. Now, the Time Cave's expert is using an imperial weapon to obtain the heavenly demon fruit. Senior, do you know what the heavenly demon fruit is? Jin Shengyuan looked at Huaya. It was his first time hearing about the heavenly demon fruit. He was very curious. Do you know why the heavenly demons are so strong? Huaya didn't answer. It was said that the heavenly demons had the strength of the rebirth realm when they reached adulthood. If they were slightly more talented, they could break through to the deity realm. This race was indeed heaven-defying. However, Lin Feng didn't know why this race was so strong. Lin Feng and Jin Shengyuan shook their heads. Huaya said, "It's because of the heavenly demon fruit. It can create an imperial fetus in the Dantian. The imperial fetus is like a tiny primordial spirit. It can cultivate. Once the imperial fetus is formed, the heavenly demon's strength will increase explosively. The stronger the imperial fetus, the stronger the heavenly demon will be." "What's an imperial fetus?" asked Lin Feng. "After breaking through to the fortune realm, the golden core in the Dantian will transform again. At that time, it will transform into a nascent soul. An imperial fetus is the strongest nascent soul," said Huaya. Lin Feng's eyes lit up when he heard Huaya. No wonder the heavenly demons were so strong. It was because they had an imperial fetus. Chapter 892. Let's go to the Empyrean Devil Clan as well. If we miss this opportunity, we'll have to wait another 10,000 years. //s//pavilion uploads readers blasphemy % said Huaya. The Empyrean Devil Fruit was also important to Huaya because his saint fetus was also an ordinary saint fetus. If he ate the fruit, his saint fetus could also evolve into the strongest emperor fetus. Jin Shengyuan asked, "Does it take 10,000 years for the Empyrean Devil Fruit to ripen?" Huaya replied, "That's right. It takes 10,000 years for the Empyrean Devil Fruit to ripen." "Good, very good. We have to snatch a few Empyrean Devil Fruits." Lin Feng clenched his fists. This was a treasure that could increase one's cultivation. It was such a great opportunity. How could they miss it? If they missed it, they would regret it for 10,000 years. Even after 10,000 years, they might not be able to obtain it. Moreover, 10,000 years was too long. They had to seize every moment. Every time the Empyrean Devil Fruit ripens, the Empyrean Devil Clan will guard it tightly. It won't be easy to snatch it. However, since someone has used an imperial weapon this time, there might be an opportunity. If we succeed, we'll return your freedom," said Huaya. Lin Feng and Jin Shengyuan were delighted. The three of them didn't stop and flew towards the Empyrean Devil Clan. The Empyrean Devil Clan was located in the Empyrean Devil Mountain Range in the Swamp of Death. The Empyrean Devil Clan had subdued many ferocious beasts and were patrolling the mountain range. After arriving, Huaya, Lin Feng, and Jin Shengyuan didn't rush to sneak in. They were too big of a target during the day, and they would be easily discovered by the patrolling ferocious beasts. They waited for night to fall. When night fell, they avoided the patrolling ferocious beasts and sneaked into the Empyrean Devil Clan's lair. From a distance, they could see that the Empyrean Devil Clan had more than 300 people. In the depths of the Empyrean Devil Clan's lair was an ancient tree. It was an Empyrean Devil tree that could bear Empyrean Devil fruits. According to rumors, this was a mysterious demonic tree that was formed at the beginning of the world. Even now, it was probably difficult to find 10 of them even if one searched the entire universe. The Empyrean Devil Clan had an Empyrean tree. The injured Empyrean Devil Clan's Devil Overlord was also there. "Clan leader, someone is here with a great imperial weapon," the heavenly demon said. An old sky demon said coldly, "Anyone who tries to steal our sky demon race's saint fruit will die." Right now, the cultivators from the Time Cave had yet to appear. Therefore, Huaya, Lin Feng, and Jin Shengyuan naturally wouldn't make a move. They were waiting for an opportunity to arrive. The heavenly devils of the Heavenly Devil Remnant clan all looked very strange. Some had 3 heads and 6 arms, while others looked no different from humans. That's not the true appearance of a celestial demon. Celestial demons can transform into whatever they want. Fire Crow said. Lin Feng and Jin Shengyuan couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. This heavenly demon was actually so strange. The Fire Crow continued. That's why we have to remember each other's life aura and not be confused by the heavenly demons. Yes, Lin Feng and Jin Shengyuan nodded. These heavenly demons had set up sacrificial altars. They wanted to offer sacrifices to the heavens. Although the heavenly devil race was extremely evil and cruel, it was still a race of heavenly devils. However, this race was indeed powerful and possessed many terrifying methods. The heavenly demons used sacrifices in exchange for a mysterious power. This mysterious power would enter the heavenly devil fruit and allow it to ripen. Under the leadership of the patriarch, more than 300 heavenly demons devoutly offered sacrifices. Boom! A terrifying power descended from the heavens and enveloped the heavenly devil tree. Then, the 9 heavenly devil fruits devoured this power. However, the heavenly devil fruits turned from black to gold. They've ripened. Even the experts of the Heavenly Devil Remnant clan were excited. After 10,000 years of waiting, the 9 heavenly devil fruits would naturally make the Heavenly Devil Remnant clan go wild with joy. My race would like to borrow a few heavenly devil fruits. We hope that the Heavenly Devil Remnant clan can part with them. The white-robed cultivator came over with the time sword. It's this person. The injured heavenly devil overlord glared at the white-robed cultivator. He was a top expert of the Heavenly Devil Remnant clan. Who are you? The patriarch of the Heavenly Devil clan said coldly. Time Cave Emoli. The white-robed cultivator said. So it's someone from the Time Cave in Tianzhou. Leave quickly, and my race can spare your life. The patriarch said. You really don't know what's good for you. Since that's the case, everyone, attack. The white-robed cultivator shouted coldly. Haha, the heavenly devil fruit. We've been waiting for it for a long time. Loud laughter rang out. A cultivator with a huge axe appeared. Tianzhou's divine axe sect. The Heavenly Devil Remnant clan is no longer the ancient race. Your race has already declined. Cold laughter rang out as a cultivator with a halberd walked over. Tianzhou's Void God sect. Since the Heavenly Devil Remnant clan doesn't know what's good for them, we might as well steal all the heavenly devil fruits today. Another expert walked over. This one was shrouded in gray fog. Tianzhou's evil spirit Dao sect. Hee. Since that's the case, why don't we steal all the heavenly devil fruits that the Heavenly Devil Remnant clan has been storing for so many years? I don't believe that they don't have any. Coquettish laughter rang out. This time, a woman with an enchanting figure walked out. She wore a long pink dress that perfectly displayed her curvaceous figure in front of everyone. Tianzhou's Red Dust Pavilion. Good heavens, the 5 ancient factions of Tianzhou have all come, Jin Shengyuan said in surprise. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Soon after, more than 3,000 cultivators flew over. These cultivators were clearly experts from the 5 ancient factions. This time, the 5 ancient factions had made ample preparations. Lin Feng said, the imperial weapon is so powerful. The Heavenly Devil Remnant clan won't be able to resist the 5 ancient factions, right? Huaya nodded and said, we'll make our move when the battle reaches its climax. Slash. A low roar echoed through the 9 heavens. Time Coquettish Emo Li wielded the imperial weapon and attacked the Heavenly Devil Remnant clan's leader. Clearly, Xiao Moli wanted to kill the Heavenly Devil Remnant clan's leader. As long as he could kill him, the Heavenly Devil Remnant clan would fall into chaos. Humph! The Heavenly Devil Remnant clan's leader snorted. Light flashed in his hand, and an ancient and mysterious stone weapon appeared. It was unknown what era this treasure was from, but it was actually made of stone. The treasure was 3 meters long and shaped like a huge blade. The Heavenly Devil Remnant clan's leader slashed the stone weapon at Xiao Moli. Clang! The 2 treasures collided, and both sides were sent flying. What kind of weapon is that? How can it be so powerful? It actually blocked the imperial weapon's power? Lin Feng and Jin Shengyuan were both astonished. Imperial weapons were peerless existences. They were practically invincible. But now, the stone weapon had blocked it. It was too shocking. That's a stone tool. It's like the stone tribe's holy spirit. It's a weapon born from nature. A top-grade stone tool is indeed comparable to an imperial weapon, Huaya said. Lin Feng was astonished. He was also amazed by the power of the creator. Something born from nature could actually give birth to such a terrifying weapon. It was unimaginable. Boom, boom, boom. A few thousand experts from the 5 ancient factions surrounded the Heavenly Devil Remnant clan's leader. Despicable creatures, die. The Heavenly Devil Remnant clan's leader said coldly. These Heavenly Devils were too powerful. Although they were few in number, their battle prowess was incredible. Slash, slash. The experts from the 5 ancient factions were constantly being killed by the Heavenly Devils. Too powerful. I'm afraid these few thousand experts won't be enough to kill the Heavenly Devil Remnant clan's leader. Lin Feng was astonished as he watched the experts from the 5 ancient factions die one after another. Groan. At that moment, a dragon's roar could be heard. In the distance, a pitch-black, two-headed black dragon flew over at high speed. Draconic Divine Ability, an ultimate technique of the dragon race, Fire Crow said. The Black Dragon Lord unleashed his dragon language mystique, causing the surrounding void to distort. Immediately after, the void exploded, blasting all the experts of the Heavenly Devil Clan away. One by one, half of the bodies of the Celestial Devil Clan's experts exploded. His injuries were extremely serious. As expected of the dragon race, they're one of the strongest races. How powerful! Looking at the mighty Black Dragon Sage, Lin Feng was incomparably shocked. The Black Dragon Sage continued to attack the restriction. Crack, crack. The restriction continued to shatter. When it seemed that the restriction would not be able to last much longer, a mountain in the depths of the forest suddenly split open, and an old heavenly devil walked out. This heavenly devil had the appearance of a human, and he sent a palm strike towards the Black Dragon Sage. This was the elder of the Heavenly Devil Clan who had been in seclusion all this time. Now that he had been alarmed, he had no choice but to act. Otherwise, the Heavenly Devil fruit that the Heavenly Devil Clan had been waiting for 10,000 years to ripen would be snatched away. Old bastard, your bloodline has deteriorated, and you still want to fight me? The Black Dragon Sage sneered and swung his huge dragon claw at the elder of the Heavenly Devil Clan. Clang, clang. It was as if two ancient gods had collided. The void split open, and distorted space-time energy surged out, killing all the cultivators and heavenly devils who were sucked into it. The Black Dragon Sage was sent flying by the elder of the Heaven Devil Clan. Even though the elder was old and frail, he was still so powerful that it made people tremble in fear. Now, he had displayed his absolute strength and suppressed the Black Dragon Sage. Back then, it had not been easy for him to defeat the Black Dragon Sage. The Black Dragon Sage roared and charged towards the elder of the Heavenly Devil Clan. The battle was intense, but Huaya, Lin Feng, and Jin Shengyuan hid themselves. It was impossible for them to break the formation, as they would be discovered. Huaya frowned and said, "It's really troublesome now. The formation hasn't been broken yet, so we can't take the Heavenly Devil fruit." They were hiding in the forest, about 3,000 meters away from the Heavenly Devil fruit. In the middle of the forest, there was a fierce battle going on, and it was extremely intense. Obviously, they would have to cross the formation if they wanted to break it, which was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Lin Feng thought of an idea, and that was to let the dragon rabbit sneak over. The dragon rabbit could pass through restrictions, and it was extremely fast. Now that the battle was so intense, no one would pay attention to a rabbit. "Little White, come out." Lin Feng summoned the dragon rabbit from the beast's slave pouch. The little guy was sleepy, and after being summoned, it stretched lazily. It's a dragon rabbit." Huaya was very surprised. Dragon rabbits were exotic beasts and were extremely rare. Squeak, squeak, squeak. After seeing Huaya, the dragon rabbit jumped up and stood on Lin Feng's shoulder. It buried its head in Lin Feng's head and shivered. The little guy was psychic and could feel how terrifying Huaya was. "Don't be afraid, it won't hurt you." Lin Feng patted the dragon rabbit's head and said, "Go and pick the fruit from the restriction." The dragon rabbit squeaked. "What is it saying?" Jin Shengyuan asked curiously. "It's saying that it's too dangerous and it's very scared," Lin Feng said. Then, Lin Feng comforted the dragon rabbit again. The little guy agreed and carefully sneaked towards the heavenly devil fruit. It was night now, so it was easier to hide. Whoosh! When the dragon rabbit arrived beside the Saint Demon fruit, it directly rushed towards it. The restriction wanted to stop the dragon rabbit. However, the restriction was not a problem for the dragon rabbit. It instantly passed through the restriction and arrived in front of the heavenly devil fruit. It stretched out its claws and directly grabbed the 9 heavenly devil fruits. Not good, that's a dragon rabbit. Someone actually raised a dragon rabbit. That dragon rabbit wants to steal the heavenly devil fruit. Many people cried out in alarm and then became incomparably angry. Not only were the experts of the heavenly devil clan angry, even the 5 great powers of the Tianzhou region and the overlords of the Death Swamp were incomparably angry. Someone actually dared to pluck the fur from a tiger. Wasn't this courting death? Whiz! The dragon rabbit instantly rushed out, holding the 9 heavenly devil fruits in its arms. Many experts charged towards the dragon rabbit. Seeing this scene, Lin Feng's expression changed greatly. With so many experts surrounding the dragon rabbit, the little guy would definitely die. He now regretted letting the dragon rabbit pick the heavenly devil fruit. Although the heavenly devil fruit was precious, in Lin Feng's eyes, the dragon rabbit had followed him for so long that it was equivalent to his family. The heavenly devil fruit was not worth mentioning compared to the dragon rabbit's life. Squeak, squeak, squeak. The dragon rabbit realized that it was trapped and could not escape. It cried out in fear, but the little guy quickly calmed down and threw the heavenly devil fruit in its hand in different directions. Snatch the heavenly devil fruit. Many experts became excited. They ignored the dragon rabbit and pounced on the heavenly devil fruit, while the dragon rabbit rushed towards Lin Feng and the others. Little rabbit, hand over the remaining 3 heavenly devil fruits. There were also cultivators who charged towards the dragon rabbit because the little guy was still holding the 3 heavenly devil fruits. The dragon rabbit was extremely fast and agile. It dodged a group of people's attacks and arrived next to Lin Feng and the others. "We got it. Let's go." Lin Feng split the heavenly devil fruit and gave one to the 3 of them. They directly soared into the sky and flew outside. "You're courting death." Angry roars shook the sky. The clan leader of the Heavenly Devil Clan and Time Cave Emoli stopped fighting. One person wielded the Time Sword and attacked Huoya, Lin Feng, and Jin Shengyuan. Another person wielded a Supreme Stone weapon and attacked them. Boom! An Emperor weapon. A top-grade stone weapon comparable to an Emperor weapon. The attack instantly shattered the void. Then, it enveloped Huoya, Lin Feng, and Jin Shengyuan. They suddenly realized that they could not move. Their bodies were disintegrating. Chapter 894. It was truly despairing. Unable to resist, they could only wait for death. Lin Feng tried to communicate with the Demon Lord, but the Demon Lord was still in deep seclusion. Lin Feng couldn't contact the Demon Lord. Danger! 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 Lin Feng was extremely anxious. But there was nothing he could do. Jin Shengyuan was also at his wit's end. After all, it was an attack from an imperial weapon and a stone artifact. Life and death might be decided in the next moment. The next moment, just when the situation was in jeopardy, Huoya suddenly cackled. "Back when I dominated the world, you people weren't even born yet. If it weren't for the fact that I was cursed by the cavern, I would have become a god long ago. Do you really think I don't have a way to deal with you?" Huoya suddenly opened his mouth and spat out a treasure. It was a spear. The spear was also a stone artifact, but it was different from the stone artifact in the hands of the Empyrean Devil Clan's patriarch. Huoya's stone artifact emitted an endless amount of curse power. "I'll let you taste the power of my cursed spear." Huoya let out a long cry, and the cursed spear flew over. The cursed spear emitted an endless amount of curse power. It was a supreme treasure that Huaya had obtained from the cursed cave abode. Now, Huaya was using his trump card. It was the cursed spear. The evil cursed cave abode had turned him into a slave of the cursed cave abode. But in his long life, Huaya had also obtained some things that others couldn't. It wasn't just his comprehension of Tao. Of course, there were also some powerful treasures. Clang. The cursed spear collided with the stone artifact and the imperial weapon, the time sword. The sound waves from the collision of treasures of this level directly killed many people on the spot. It was truly terrifying. The cursed spear blocked the attacks of the imperial weapon and the stone artifact before tearing the void apart. Huaya, Lin Feng, and Jin Shengyuan entered the tear in the void and disappeared in the blink of an eye. That's the fire crow. It has the ability to live forever. It's said that even if you kill it, it can rely on the cave to be reborn. Now that it has the celestial demon fruit, it's hiding inside the cave. Nobody can do anything to it. Many experts were even more furious, but now they knew that chasing after the fire crows was of no use. Everyone went to snatch the remaining 6 heavenly demon fruits. The void trembled as Huaya, Lin Feng, and Jin Shengyuan rushed out. You can go now. Fly east for 10 days and 10 nights, and you will be able to leave the death swamp. Fire Crow said, Thank you, Senior. We'll meet again. Lin Feng and Jin Shengyuan clasped their fists. They bid farewell to the Fire Crow and flew off into the distance. 10 days later, Lin Feng and Jin Shengyuan finally left the death swamp. We're in the territory of the Lu Anzhou. Jin Shengyuan let out a long sigh. Lin Feng and Jin Shengyuan arrived at Lu and Prefecture's Jining City. This was the famous ancient capital of the Lu Anzhou. The Lu Anzhou's teleportation array was located here. After resting for a day in Jining City, Lin Feng and Jin Shengyuan said their goodbyes. If you have time in the future, you must come find me at the Rock King's gathering place. Uncle will be very happy to see you, Brother Feng. Jin Shengyuan said, I will. Lin Feng patted Jin Shengyuan on the shoulder. The two parted ways. Jin Shengyuan took the teleportation array to the place where he and the Rock King had agreed to meet. Lin Feng took the teleportation array to Heavenly Cloud City. Heavenly Cloud City was the only city in the Lu Anzhou that had a space-time wormhole. Lin Feng had to cross 32 continents to reach the border between the Immortal Continent and the Star Continent. This was because the Tribulation Yao realm recorded on the tortoise shell was located at the border between the Immortal Continent and the Star Continent. However, when Lin Feng arrived at Heavenly Cloud City, he ran into trouble. He was surrounded by a dozen cultivators. Xiang Jin, an expert of the Xiang family. He was a 5th firmament manifestation cultivator. His cultivation was unfathomable. I finally found you here. Let's see how you'll escape today. Xiang Jin's voice was cold and filled with endless killing intent. Boom! The experts of the Xiang family didn't say much. Under Xiang Jin's lead, they surrounded Lin Feng. Look, there's a fight between cultivators. Many people cried out in alarm and quickly gathered around. Isn't that Xiang Jin from the Xiang family of Snow Province? That's right. That's Xiang Jin. I've seen him before. Who's that young cultivator they're attacking? Why are they attacking him? Many people were discussing this, very puzzled. Naturally, no one was optimistic about Lin Feng's chances in this battle. Xiang Jin was too strong, and he also had a Dao artifact. Moreover, he had a dozen Yin-Yang realm experts helping him. This battle was too difficult. It was almost certain death. Lin Feng wielded the Black Dragon Sword and charged left and right, killing 7 Xiang family experts in a row. However, he was also seriously injured several times. Although he used his immortal body to heal himself each time, he was still injured. Lin Feng's magic power was depleting too quickly. He felt that he could use his immortal body 2 more times at most before his magic power was depleted. At that time, he would probably die. Xiang Jin had clearly sensed Lin Feng's situation. The colder his expression was, the more confident he was in killing Lin Feng. That kid has a special physique that can heal injuries quickly. I wonder what kind of special physique it is. So what if he has a special physique? His magic power is almost depleted. Once his magic power is completely depleted, he'll die. Many cultivators pointed at Lin Feng, not believing that he could escape alive. Lin Feng killed another 3 experts of the Xiang family, but he was almost beheaded by one of the experts. Fresh blood flowed out. It was extremely terrifying. Lin Feng gritted his teeth and used his immortal body to heal himself again. Xiang Jin laughed savagely. "Kid, it's time for you to die." Xiang Jin unleashed a barrage of attacks. Lin Feng was forced to retreat again and again. Xiang Jin had left more than a dozen deep wounds on his body, but Lin Feng didn't dare to use his immortal body anymore. He felt that his magic power was almost depleted. This was troublesome. Lin Feng's expression was gloomy. Xiang Jin only had 4 experts and Xiang Jin left. However, Lin Feng was like a lamp that had run out of oil. "It seems like you can't hold on much longer. How about we make a deal? Let me out, and we'll kill Xiang Jin together." Ning Hanchuang's voice came from the 4 vicious cauldrons. She was suppressed in the cauldrons, but she knew many things about the outside world, especially since Lin Feng had gone through so many things during that time. She was astonished and moved. "How can I be sure that you won't betray me?" Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. "I can swear that I won't seek revenge for 3 years. If I go back on my word, I'll die a horrible death," Ning Hanchuang said. Ning Hanchuang was a terrifying woman. She had a special physique and was ruthless. In order to achieve her goals, she would do anything. Lin Feng didn't want to let her go unless he had no other choice. But now, it was a matter of life and death. He had to borrow Ning Hanchuang's strength, or he would die without a doubt. "Okay, deal." Lin Feng undid the seal on the 4 vicious cauldrons. Boom. Chapter 895. Ning Hanchuang was originally at the creation realm. Previously, he was able to suppress Ning Hanchuang because Lin Feng's heavenly fire restrained Ning Hanchuang's ice divine kingdom. Therefore, with Ning Hanchuang joining the battle, Lin Feng felt that it was not impossible to kill Xiang Jin. This was because it was very normal for cultivators with special constitutions to kill people of a higher level. Although Ning Hanchuang was weaker than Xiang Jin in terms of cultivation level, her special constitution was enough to make up for it. In addition to Lin Feng, the probability of killing Xiang Jin was greatly increased. "Hurry up and recover. I'll hold them back for now," Ning Hanchuang said. "Okay." Lin Feng nodded. He took out a supreme-grade spirit stone and quickly absorbed the pure energy in it to recover his magic power. "Who are you? How dare you go against my Snow Province's Xiang family? Leave. Otherwise, I'll make sure you die a horrible death." Xiang Jin looked at Ning Hanchuang with a gloomy expression. He wanted to threaten Ning Hanchuang and scare her away. This was because Xiang Jin could see that Ning Hanchuang was an extremely difficult opponent. She was at the creation realm and had a special constitution. Even he felt that such a person was difficult to deal with. "You're about to die, and you still dare to be so arrogant in front of me?" Ning Hanchuang sneered. Swoosh. Chains of ice were formed and shot towards Xiang Jin to entangle him. Break. Xiang Jin took out his Dao artifact to destroy the ice chains. Crack, crack. The Dao artifact was indeed powerful. It shattered the ice chains one by one. "Oomph, I'll kill you too today." Xiang Jin's voice was cold as he charged towards Ning Hanchuang. "If you were at the 7th or 8th heaven of the creation realm, I'd turn around and run without a word. You're only at the 5th heaven of the creation realm. How dare you boast so shamelessly in front of me? I have a Dao artifact too." Ning Hanchuang took out her Dao artifact, the ice sword. The ice sword slashed towards the small golden bell. Clang. A loud sound was heard. It was as if the giant spirit god was beating the war drums of the heavenly realm. The 2 Dao artifacts collided and both of them were sent flying. Ning Hanchuang and Xiang Jin continued to activate their Dao artifacts. The ice sword and the small golden bell charged towards each other again. Who? Lin Feng had recovered 30% of his magic power after absorbing the energy from a dozen supreme-grade spirit stones. He decided to seize this rare opportunity to kill Hanchuang. He could not let him escape. But now, they had encountered a huge problem. Facing the attacks of the ice shackles, these people were exhausted. Lin Feng knew how terrifying Ning Hanchuang's ice divine country was. He had almost died in Ning Hanchuang's ice divine country. Ning Hanshuang's special physique had awakened 70% of her bloodline power, so she was abnormally strong. Lin Feng's immortal godly blood was only 10% of his blood. Ning Hanshuang was almost invincible as long as she didn't encounter a cultivator who could counter her. Lin Feng rushes up and punches a Xiang clan expert. This Xiang clan expert roars again and again. But now his energy is tied up by the ice shackles, and he is attacked by Lin Feng, so he no longer has the ability to neutralize Lin Feng's attack. Lin Feng killed this expert of the Xiang clan with a single punch. Using the same method, he killed the other 3 experts of the Xiang clan one by one. "Brat, you deserve to die," Xiang Jin roared furiously. He had brought more than 10 experts from the Xiang clan, but all of them had been killed by Lin Feng. This made Xiang Jin mad with hatred. Xiang Jin looked at Ning Hanshuang and shouted furiously, "Bitch, it's all your fault. If it wasn't for you, this little brat would have been killed by the Xiang clan. Die." Xiang Jin directly burned his life force to activate the Golden Bell. He wanted to awaken the artifact spirit of the Golden Bell. The awakening of the artifact spirit of the Tao artifact would greatly increase its power. It's too late. Lin Feng laughs coldly and takes out the sky-devouring jar, which flies towards the Golden Bell. The sky-devouring jar starts to devour the Golden Bell. The sky-devouring jar interrupted the awakening of the Golden Bell's artifact spirit. The Golden Bell flies towards the sky-devouring jar, as if it was really going to be devoured by it. The Golden Bell struggles violently, but it can't break free. The sky-devouring jar is really too powerful. Lin Feng is also very happy because the sky-devouring jar is much stronger than he had imagined. Seeing that the Golden Bell is about to be devoured, Xiang Jin's face turns gloomy. He quickly calls the Golden Bell back to his side. However, it is not easy for a Tao artifact like the Golden Bell to break free from the sky-devouring jar's devouring. At that moment, numerous ice shackles move towards Xiang Jin to bind him. At the same time, Ning Hanshuang wields her ice sword and attacks Xiang Jin. Xiang Jin roars furiously and uses a divine ability to resist. However, his divine ability is destroyed and his body is sent flying by the ice shackles. Then, the ice shackles wrap around him. Ning Hanshuang chopped off Xiang Jin's right arm with a sword and took away Xiang Jin's storage ring. Xiang Jin screams miserably. He slams his left hand towards the ice shackles, trying to break them. However, Lin Feng has already charged forward and slaps Xiang Jin's head. Crack! Xiang Jin's head starts to crack. He roars unwillingly, "I, Xiang Jin, have been unrivaled throughout my life. How can I die at the hands of 2 juniors like you? Those who are unjust are doomed to destruction. You did not die in vain." Lin Feng sneered. Bang! Xiang Jin's head explodes, and he dies on the spot. "Lin Feng, I will come and find you in the future." Ning Hanshuang looks meaningfully at Lin Feng, then dispels the Ice Divine Kingdom and flies off into the distance. Lin Feng frowns slightly. Ning Hanshuang is a powerful enemy. Although they won't meet again in the near future, there will definitely be a battle between them in the future. Lin Feng calms his mind and starts to circulate his undying divine body to heal his injuries. Soon, Lin Feng's injuries are completely healed, and he quickly flies towards the teleportation plaza. Xiang Jin is dead. Countless people look at Xiang Jin's headless corpse in disbelief. News of Xiang Jin's death reaches Snow Province's Xiang clan. First, Xiang Zijie dies, then Xiang Jin. Snow Province's Xiang clan is furious. Xiang clan sends out a large number of experts to search for Lin Feng and Ning Hanshuang. Xiang Jin's death naturally causes a huge uproar. Xiang Jin is a 5th-layer creation realm expert, and he also has a doctrine artifact. Xiang Jin's death is a huge blow to Xiang clan. Now, even the doctrine artifact is lost. 10 days later, Xiang clan's experts come to collect Xiang Jin's corpse. Among the Xiang clan's experts, there is a young cultivator with a battle spear on his back. He walks with a majestic gait, and his body is surrounded by an imperial aura. Xiang Ji, the #1 expert of Xiang clan's younger generation. It's said that his cultivation surpasses the older generation's experts. He's called the Overlord. Someone recognizes the young cultivator with the battle spear on his back and immediately starts discussing. Xiangji is a famous genius of the 3,000 prefectures. Back in the Battle of the Geniuses of the 3,000 prefectures, he was almost invincible, suppressing other cultivators of the same level. He is a terrifying existence on the same level as Huangfu Qingtian. In the city lord's mansion, Xiangji sees the corpses of Xiangjin and the other members of Xiang clan. He walks against the flow, stepping onto the 9 layers of heaven like a young emperor. Chapter 896. The ancient forest of the fallen immortals stretched for 360,000 kilometers across the immortal continent, Star Continent, Wu Continent, and Yuezhou Continent. Within the ancient forest of the fallen immortals, there were endless resources and many ancient cultivator caves. But at the same time, the ancient forest of the fallen immortals was filled with danger. There were many powerful, ferocious beasts roaming about. If one was not careful, one would die tragically in the ancient forest of the fallen immortals. Currently, there was a fierce battle going on in the ancient forest of the fallen immortals. More than 10 cultivators were surrounded by a group of blood apes. These blood apes were cruel and violent by nature and loved to eat human flesh. Therefore, the blood apes would often attack the human cultivators who entered the ancient forest of the fallen immortals. Puff, puff. The sound of flesh being torn apart and screams of agony could be heard. Cultivators were constantly being killed. These cultivators were a temporary expedition team. Many of them were quite strong, but these blood apes were even stronger. The blood apes had already gained intelligence and could use breathing techniques to absorb the power of heaven and earth to increase their cultivation. Some of the blood apes even took out magic treasures to attack these cultivators. Clearly, these magic treasures were taken from the human cultivators after the sanguine ape had killed them. "Break out!" a middle-aged cultivator shouted in a deep voice, wanting to lead everyone to break out of the encirclement. But a blood ape king that was 10 meters tall jumped out. The blood ape king wielded a huge, spiked club and smashed the leader of the cultivators into a pile of minced meat. At this moment, the rest of the cultivators who were still struggling to hold on panicked. Puff, puff. Cultivators were killed one by one. In the blink of an eye, only 2 women were left. Of these 2 women, the older one looked to be around 22 or 23 years old. She was wearing a floral dress. She was tall and slender, with a pair of straight and slender legs that could drive any man crazy. The other woman was around 20 years old. She was petite and had a voluptuous figure. She had a child's face and huge boobs. Together, they took out a defensive shield. The shield condensed into a defensive barrier that blocked the attacks of the dozens of blood apes. But now, both of their faces had turned pale. The magic power in their bodies could not hold on for much longer. "Big sister, are we going to die here?" asked the female cultivator with a face full of despair. Another female cultivator bit her lips. Although she wanted to comfort her younger sister by saying that there was hope as long as she persisted, she couldn't help it. But now, she really couldn't say these words. This was because the magic power in her body was about to dry up. Furthermore, after the repeated battles, the 2 sisters were both injured. There were many places on their bodies that were still bleeding. Their bodies were on the verge of collapsing. Crack, crack. The defensive barrier formed by the defensive shield had already begun to crack. The dozens of blood apes roared excitedly. Compared to the bodies of human male cultivators, these blood apes preferred to devour human female cultivators. Because human female cultivators had tender skin and tender flesh, they tasted much better than human male cultivators. Seeing that the defensive light barrier was about to crack and that the magic power in their bodies was about to be exhausted, the 2 sisters revealed a look of despair. Sha sha sha. At this moment, a soft sound came from the forest. In the next moment, a cultivator who looked to be in his 20s rushed out of the forest in a panic. This cultivator was none other than Lin Feng. He had entered the ancient forest of the fallen immortal to search for the demon realm. However, the ancient forest of the fallen immortal was too big. He had searched for more than a month and still couldn't find the location of the demon realm. 3 days ago, Lin Feng encountered a terrifying beast emperor and was chased all the way. However, it seemed that he had already escaped from that terrifying beast emperor. Lin Feng finally let out a sigh of relief. Run. At this moment, Lin Feng heard an anxious voice coming from afar. The pair of sisters looked over anxiously, reminding themselves loudly. Blood apes. Lin Feng looked over and saw the ground full of corpses. He frowned slightly. It should be a group of adventurers that entered the ancient forest of the fallen immortal. However, their luck wasn't very good and they encountered a group of blood apes. Blood apes were a group of terrifying and bloodthirsty creatures. In Yang Stage 5 or 6 cultivators would die if they encountered a group of blood apes. The sisters were clearly very kind. When they saw that Lin Feng had mistakenly entered this place, they hurriedly warned Lin Feng to escape. Crack, crack. The restrictions protecting the sisters kept shattering. The sisters' faces were pale, and their delicate bodies trembled. The blood ape king roared and swung its spiked club at them. Crack. The defensive restrictions shattered. The stone club came crashing down with a fierce wind. The sisters were filled with fear and despair. They wanted to dodge, but they found that their legs were as heavy as lead. They couldn't even take a single step forward. Well, we're going to die. The younger sister was so frightened that she started crying. The older sister's expression was also mournful. They had thought that they would die in the next moment. However, at this moment, the sisters felt a pair of strong hands wrap around their small waists. A strong masculine aura assaulted them. Whoosh! The two sisters were quickly pulled back a dozen meters and dodged the Blood Ape King's spiked club. Why didn't you run? You can't save us. If you rashly come over, you'll die here too. When the sisters saw that it was the young man who had mistakenly entered this place who had saved them, they couldn't help but sigh. This was because they felt that Lin Feng would only die here if he attacked. Every single one of them could escape. Lin Feng said, "Wouldn't it be a pity for delicate beauties like you to die here?" The sisters came back to their senses and realized that they were in Lin Feng's embrace. Their bodies were so close to Lin Feng's body that they could even feel the warmth of Lin Feng's body. When had the sisters ever been so intimate with a man? They couldn't help but blush. However, they immediately spat at Lin Feng. How could he still joke at a time like this? Roar! The Blood Ape King and dozens of other blood apes rushed over together with a thunderous roar. Leave quickly. Don't worry about us. With your speed, you'll definitely be able to escape. Seeing the group of blood apes pouncing over, they were shocked. The two sisters said anxiously. Lin Feng smiled and waved his right hand in an indifferent way. Sword chi shot out in all directions. Pooh, pooh, pooh. Ripping sounds could be heard as the bodies of the blood apes were torn apart by the sword chi. Even the Blood Ape King couldn't block Lin Feng's sword chi. Its body was directly cut in half. It died on the spot. How is this possible? The sisters' pink lips were agape. Their beautiful eyes were filled with disbelief. Lin Feng was about the same age as them. However, Lin Feng had only used one move. He had easily killed dozens of blood apes. Wasn't his strength too terrifying? The two sisters were deeply shaken. Chapter 897. The smell of blood here will attract other beasts, so we shouldn't stay here for too long. We should leave quickly, Lin Feng said. The two sisters nodded. However, the continuous battles had exhausted them, and they were also injured. It was difficult for them to leave on their own. Lin Feng could see that the two sisters were in an awkward position, so he said, "Sorry for the offense." As soon as he finished speaking, he hugged a delicate body in each of his hands. Then, he quickly flew off into the distance. The two sisters cried out in surprise, their faces red, but they didn't dare look at Lin Feng. They just let Lin Feng hug them. Not long after the three of them left, a terrifying aura spread out from the depths of the forest. The black fog churned. There seemed to be an extremely terrifying creature hidden within the black fog. Finally, the black fog enveloped the corpses on the ground. Crunch, crunch. The sound of flesh being chewed could be heard from within the black fog. Lin Feng found a cave for the two sisters to recover from their injuries. 2 hours later, the two sisters had mostly recovered from their injuries. They also tidied up their appearances and looked much prettier than before. Is your body all right? Lin Feng asked. The two sisters replied, Thank you for your concern, sir. We've mostly recovered. Lin Feng nodded and asked, What are your names? Shouting you. Shouting you. What are your names, sir? Lin Feng. The two sides briefly introduced each other. The elder sister was called Xiao Tingyu, and the younger sister was called Xiao Tingyue. They were from Yuezhou's Qiao clan. Yuezhou's Qiao clan was an ancient power with a long history. They were considered a prominent clan in Yuezhou. Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyue had come out to train together and joined a group of independent cultivators. Then, in the ancient forest of fallen immortals, they encountered the blood ape. Everyone else in the group had died tragically, but the two of them were lucky enough to meet Lin Feng. If Lin Feng had come any later, the two sisters would have died as well. The two sisters were curious about Lin Feng's identity. However, Lin Feng didn't explain his background in detail. Seeing that Lin Feng did not reveal his identity, the two sisters felt an inexplicable sense of loss in their hearts. There's a small town 1,000 li away from here. It's called Wangxian Town. I'm going there to buy some things. I'll take you to Wangxian Town, then you can go back to your families. The ancient forest of the fallen immortals is too dangerous, so before you become strong enough, don't even think about going there. Lin Feng said. Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyu nodded. Within the cave, a bonfire burned brightly. Lin Feng had killed a spirit bird and beheaded a large snake. Snake soup was boiling over the bonfire, roasting the bird meat. A fragrance filled the air. Cultivators could recover their magic power by absorbing the spiritual qi of heaven and earth. However, if he wanted to recover his strength, eating was the fastest way. Give it a try. Lin Feng scooped snake soup for the two sisters and cut some roasted meat. The two sisters began to eat. His eyes immediately lit up. Xiao Tingyu said, I didn't expect Lin Gongzi to have such good cooking skills. Xiao Tingyu also nodded and said, Lin Gongzi's cooking is really good. Lin Feng smiled and said, When you're outside, you need to have some life skills. Eat more to replenish your strength. The next day, the three of them went out and headed towards Wangxian Town. Wangxian Town was a very famous town in the outer regions of the ancient forest of the fallen immortals. It was said that those who were lucky could stand in Wangxian Town at midnight and look towards the ancient forest of the fallen immortals. They could see the shadow of an immortal in Wangxian Town. Lin Feng had stayed in Wangxian Town before, but he didn't see the so-called shadow of an immortal. Lin Feng only thought of the rumor that one could see immortals in Wangxian Town as a legend. The three of them encountered many dangers along the way, but with Lin Feng around, they were all safe. While they were resting by a small stream, Yizichen and Yizichen were talking. A flying ship flew over from the distance. The flying ship wasn't big, only about 20 meters long. Such a small flying ship could accommodate 20 to 30 people. The flying ship suddenly stopped above Lin Feng and the other two. The cabin opened and a group of cultivators flew out. This group of people was led by a young man. The young man was wearing a blue brocade robe, and there was a hint of lust between his eyebrows. Haha, I didn't think that I would meet such beautiful sisters in this desolate place. After the blue-clothed young man's gaze swept past Lin Feng, he looked at Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyu, and the two sisters immediately revealed a burning gaze. Lin Feng couldn't help but frown slightly. The way this young man looked at Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyu made him unhappy. Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyu knew that these people were definitely not to be trifled with. Xiao Tingyu said, Lin Gongzi, let's quickly leave this place. Lin Feng nodded. Just as the three of them were about to leave, the blue-clothed young man waved his hand. More than 20 of his subordinates quickly flew away and surrounded the three of them. When they saw this scene, Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyu's expressions became very unsightly. The other party had many people, and they had ulterior motives. They were naturally worried about their own safety, and they were also worried about Lin Feng. If these people wanted to deal with the three of them, they would most likely kill Lin Feng. Two beauties, why are you in such a hurry to leave? It's fate that brought us together. Why don't you come and sit on my flying ship? The blue-clothed young man said with a smile. His lustful eyes swept past Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyu from time to time. If the two sisters really got on his flying ship, How could they have a good ending? We're from the Chao clan of Yuezhou. You'd better leave, and we can still let bygones be bygones. Xiao Tingyu said, The Chao clan of Yuezhou? Ha, I'm the crown prince of the Yuhua celestial dynasty of the immortal province. Do you think I'm afraid of the Chao clan of Yuezhou? You two beauties, come to my flying ship obediently. I'll treat you well. If you don't know what's good for you, don't blame me for forcing you to come up. The blue-clothed young man didn't hide his desire for Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyu anymore. People from the Yuhua celestial dynasty. Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyu's faces immediately turned pale. The Yuhua celestial dynasty was a group that the Chao clan of Yuezhou couldn't afford to offend. The Yuhua celestial dynasty of the immortal province. So you're from the Huangfu clan. Lin Feng couldn't help but smile coldly. Little boy, who are you? The blue-clothed young man looked at Lin Feng and smiled coldly. Someone you can't afford to offend, said Lin Feng indifferently. The blue-clothed young man's face suddenly turned grim. Who do you think you are? How dare you talk to me like that? Guards, teach this little boy a lesson. Let him know that he has to pay the price for saying the wrong thing. Yes. Chapter 898. Lin Feng's gaze suddenly turned cold. These people from the Yuhua immortal dynasty were really arrogant. From the way this young master acted, he knew that this person wasn't a good person. Young master, be careful. Seeing that the attack of the Yuhua immortal dynasty's expert was about to hit Lin Feng, the two sisters cried out in alarm at the same time, their expressions full of worry. A lowly trash like you dares to be so presumptuous in front of our young master? You really don't know what death is. The corners of the guard's mouth curled up. In his opinion, this move would definitely cripple Lin Feng. Lin Feng stood in place without moving. Could it be that he's scared silly? The people from the Yuhua immortal dynasty all had sneering expressions. Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyue were also stunned. Why was Lin Feng not moving at all? Could it be that he was really scared silly? But since he could kill a group of blood apes, his strength should be at the 6th or 7th level of the yin-yang realm or even higher, right? He shouldn't be so scared, right? The two sisters' hearts were filled with doubts. The attack was about to hit Lin Feng. Boom! Suddenly, Lin Feng's body emitted a terrifying aura that could destroy heaven and earth. That aura directly enveloped the Yuhua immortal dynasty's expert who attacked. The Yuhua immortal dynasty's expert realized that he couldn't move at all. He let out a series of screams from his throat. His originally smug expression had now turned into a terrified expression as he looked at Lin Feng. Bang! In the next moment, his body directly exploded. He couldn't withstand the pressure emitted by Lin Feng at all. So strong. Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyue looked at Lin Feng in shock. Only then did they realize that they might have underestimated this young master in front of them. Seeing that his subordinate had been killed, the blue-clothed young master was instantly incomparably furious. He coldly shouted, Go! Kill this brat! Yes, young master. Immediately, 5 to 6 experts of the Yuhua immortal dynasty pounced towards Lin Feng like wolves and tigers. Lin Feng had no intention of using his sacred art. He simply walked towards the other party. A terrifying force surged out. The 5 or 6 experts who were rushing over suddenly felt as if an ancient divine mountain was pressing down on them, making them unable to move. Bang, bang, bang. Immediately after, the bodies of 5 or 6 experts of the Yuhua immortal dynasty exploded again, and they died tragically on the spot. The blue-clothed young man's expression finally changed when he saw this scene. He naturally knew that he had kicked an iron plate today. Who are you? The blue-clothed young master asked in horror as he retreated. Huangfu Qingtian and I have a 10-year life and death agreement. A small fish like you dares to jump in front of me? You don't know the difference between life and death. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. You're that person. The young man's face was filled with terror as he shouted, Stop him! As soon as he finished speaking, he turned around and rushed toward the spaceship in the distance. The remaining few people kept retreating, but at this moment, a terrifying aura had already enveloped them. Puffed! As expected, everyone's bodies exploded, killed by Lin Feng's force. The blue-clothed young master had already flown to the spaceship. Rumble. The spaceship started to move, wanting to escape into the distance. Skyrend. Lin Feng's expression was indifferent as he waved his right hand. 1,000-meter-long saber light condensed and instantly slashed out. The huge saber light instantly tore the entire spaceship apart. The blue-clothed young master hiding in the spaceship was cut in half. None of the cultivators controlling the spaceship were spared. Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyue looked at each other. There were so many experts. They died just like that. Killing those strong cultivators was as easy as blowing away dust for Lin Feng. Wasn't he too strong? Could it be that he had already cultivated to the 8th level of the Yin-Yang realm? Or even the 10th level? When they thought of this, the two sisters felt abnormally shocked. After all, Lin Feng was about the same age as them. His cultivation was so unfathomable that the two sisters felt like they were looking up at a tall mountain. "Let's go," Lin Feng said indifferently. The blue-clothed young master and the others were just small fries. Lin Feng didn't care about them at all. His opponent was a top-notch genius like Huangfu Qingtian. Wangxian town was bustling as usual. People came and went. Many cultivators who entered the ancient forest of the fallen immortals would rest in Wangxian town. There were stone shops, casinos, brothels, elixir stores, spirit array stores, weapon stores, and various other shops. There was also a branch of the Mercenary Association located here. Lin Feng, Xiao Tingyu, and Xiao Tingyue arrived at Wangxian town. They planned to find an inn to stay and rest for 2 days. Tingyue, thank the heavens that I found the two of you here. At that moment, a surprised voice sounded. More than 10 cultivators rushed over. The leader was a young man who looked to be in his late 20s, and he looked relieved. Big brother. When Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyue saw the young man, they were pleasantly surprised and hurried over. The young man reprimanded them. "The two of you are really messing around. How could you sneak into the ancient forest of the fallen immortals? What if something happened to you?" Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyue lowered their heads, not daring to refute him. Lin Feng was slightly speechless. He was afraid that Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyue had snuck out. Their clan was worried about their safety, so they had come to look for them. The young man looked at the two sisters and asked, "Are those your friends?" The two sisters hurriedly nodded. Xiao Tingyu said, "This is Lin Feng and Lin Gongzi. If it weren't for him, we would have died in the ancient forest of the fallen immortals. This is my big brother, Xiao Jinyu." "Brother Lin, thank you for saving my sister." Xiao Jinyu cupped his fists. "Brother Xiao, you're too polite." Lin Feng cupped his fists in response. Lin Feng then said, "Since Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyue have found their families, I'll take my leave." When they heard that Lin Feng was about to leave, Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyue looked reluctant to part with him. Xiao Jinyu said, "Brother Lin, please wait. Is there something else?" Lin Feng asked. Xiao Jinyu said, "Brother Lin, since you're alone, why don't you stay with us for the time being? Also, I have something to discuss with you. I'm sure you'll be very interested in it." Seeing how confident Xiao Jinyu was, Lin Feng was somewhat puzzled as to what Xiao Jinyu wanted to discuss with him. "Lin Gongzi, since you won't be leaving Wangxian town for the next few days, why don't you stay with us? We haven't properly thanked you for saving us yet." Xiao Tingyu blushed. "Then I'll have to trouble you." Lin Feng cupped his fists. The Qiao family rented a courtyard in Wangxian town as a temporary place to rest. At night, Xiao Jinyu held a banquet for Lin Feng to thank Lin Feng for saving Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyue's lives. After the banquet ended, Xiao Jinyu invited Lin Feng to a private room. It was obvious that they had something to discuss. What does Xiao Jinyu want to talk about? Lin Feng looked interested. Chapter 899. Xiao Jinyu laughed. "Brother Lin, have you ever heard of Yuan meteor stones?" Lin Feng shook his head. "Nope. May I know what Yuan meteor stones are?" Xiao Jinyu continued. "These few years, the various transcendent powers of the Tianwu continent have been trying to repair the space-time tunnel on the ancient path of Starry Sky in order to reopen the astral trials. Yuan meteor stones are the materials required to repair the ancient path of Starry Sky. Naturally, not everyone is qualified to participate in the astral trials. Other than having to pay a huge amount of spirit stones, one also has to pay a fee of Yuan meteor stones. This is because the space-time tunnel on the ancient path of starry sky could malfunction at any time, and the various transcendent powers need to have sufficient yuan meteor stones in order to deal with any unexpected situations. If the space-time tunnel on the ancient path of starry sky were to malfunction, and they didn't have enough yuan meteor stones to repair the space-time tunnel, the consequences would be unimaginable. Lin Feng nodded. If the space-time tunnel malfunctioned and couldn't be repaired in time, the cultivators in the tunnel might die tragically, while the others would be trapped in the outer world, unable to return. Since Brother Qiao mentioned yuan meteor stones, could it be that Brother Qiao knows something about them? Lin Feng asked. Qiao Jinyu nodded. There's a meteorite mountain range in the ancient forest of fallen immortals, and there are many yuan meteor stones there. If Brother Lin wishes to head to the outer world to train, you'll have to pay yuan meteor stones. Therefore, I'd like to invite Brother Lin to head to the meteorite mountain range to search for yuan meteor stones. What do you think? Lin Feng nodded. Sure. When will we be leaving? There are still a few friends coming. We'll set off immediately after they arrive. Qiao Jinyu said. No problem. After parting ways with Qiao Jinyu, Lin Feng returned to his residence. The night was long, and Lin Feng wasn't in the mood to sleep. He flew to the roof of his residence and drank some wine. Gazing into the distance, he could see a boundless sea of trees. That was the direction of the ancient forest of fallen immortals. The roars of the beasts in the ancient forest of fallen immortals could be heard unceasingly. Lin Feng didn't care about the yuan meteor stones. Since there were some in the meteorite mountain range, he would definitely be able to find them. Even if yuan meteor stones were extremely rare, he would be able to find them with his dragon search incantation. Lin Feng was thinking about the demonic realm. The ancient forest of fallen immortals was too huge, and it was too difficult to find the demonic realm. The map imprinted on the tortoiseshell was only an approximate location. In addition, it was an ancient forest of fallen immortals. Times. The demonic realm. Therefore, it wasn't easy to find the demonic world of fallen. Lin smell. Lin Feng, S, and sat, SSSS. Of her, ofs. This woman was full of charm. What did you and you talk? Talk. Xiao Yu turned around and looked at Lin Feng. Looking at Xiao Yu up close, Lin Feng realized how beautiful she was. Her hair was tied up in a bun, and her eyes seemed to be filled with spring. Her skin was as smooth as jade, and her cherry lips were red. The two strands of hair on her cheeks fluttered in the wind, adding to her seductive charm. She wore a light green dress, and her waist was slim. Her beauty was flawless. When Xiao Yu sensed that Lin Feng was looking at her, she blushed. She looked shy, which made her look even more seductive. Lin Feng said, Brother Qiao told me about the yuan meteor stones and invited me to search for them together. Xiao Yu's face lit up. If Lin Feng went with Qiao Jinyu to search for yuan meteor stones, didn't that mean that he would be able to spend more time with them? The next day, Lin Feng left the house early in the morning. He wanted to buy some things he needed. He needed to buy some formation materials, which might be useful. He also needed to buy some other necessities. When Xiao Yu and Xiao Tingyue saw that Lin Feng was going out, they walked over. Xiao Tingyue asked, Lin Gongzi, are you going out? Lin Feng nodded. I'm going to buy some necessities. Let's go with you. Xiao Tingyue blushed. Lin Feng naturally wouldn't refuse these two beautiful sisters. Along the way, many people looked at Lin Feng with envy and jealousy. When a man went out, he actually had two extremely beautiful women by his side, one big and one small. It really made others envious. Some people even thought that the brat had already done the deed with that pair of beautiful sisters. Lin Feng finished buying some necessities and smiled at the sisters. What do you want to buy? Xiao Tingyue's personality was much more lively. Although we don't have anything to buy, we've always wanted to visit a certain place. Which place? Lin Feng asked. A stone workshop, the two sisters said at the same time. Immediately, their faces turned slightly red. Xiao Yu said, We've only heard of the stone workshop, but we've never been there. We're very curious. Lin Feng smiled. There seems to be a small stone workshop in Wangxian town. Since you want to go there to broaden your horizons, let's go take a look. Lin Gongzi, you're so nice. If Big Brother was here, he definitely wouldn't let us go to a place like the stone workshop. Xiao Tingyue happily hugged Lin Feng's arm. Immediately, Lin Feng felt his arm sink into a turbulent wave. Lin Feng couldn't help but sigh. Xiao Tingyue was really careless. Did she not feel the sensation of hugging his arm like this? Soon, Xiao Tingyue felt it, and her face turned slightly red. She let go of Lin Feng's arm and lowered her head, not daring to look at Lin Feng. Lin Feng coughed dryly to hide his awkwardness. He said, "Let's go to the stone workshop and see if we can cut anything good out of it." The two girls nodded excitedly. The three people arrived at the stone workshop of looking immortal town. The streets outside were crowded with people coming and going. This was indeed a place where people from all walks of life mingled. Many people revealed malicious gazes when they saw Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyu, this pair of exquisite sisters. Some people even wanted to take advantage of them, but Lin Feng coldly glanced at them. Many people felt that Lin Feng wasn't someone to be trifled with, so they dispersed and didn't dare to approach him. "There's only some low-grade stones outside. Let's go inside and take a look," Lin Feng said. The two sisters nodded and followed Lin Feng into the stone workshop. There were many courtyards here. Tingyue, why are you here?" A pleasantly surprised voice sounded. More than 10 cultivators rushed over. One of them was a green-robed young master, and the other was a white-robed young master. The green-robed young master looked at Xiao Tingyu with a burning gaze. The white-robed young master looked at Xiao Tingyue with joy. Chapter 900. Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyu had good family backgrounds, and they were also beautiful and attractive. Naturally, they had many admirers. The two people in front of them were Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyu's admirers. They were also members of aristocratic families, so they quickly put away their gloomy expressions and put on smiles. "So it's you, Lucian Huang Haiwuyan?" Xiao Tingyu curled her lips. "Why are you here in Wangxian town?" asked the young man in white, whose name was Lucian Huang. Xiao Tingyu replied, "We're here to gain experience, of course." Lin Feng could tell that Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyu didn't like these two people very much. However, Lucian Huang and Haiwuyan didn't seem to sense anything, and they continued to smile. Haiwuyan glanced at Lin Feng and asked, "How should I address you, friend?" "This is Lin Feng and Lin Gongzi. This is Lucian Huang, and this is Haiwuyan." Xiao Tingyu gave a simple introduction. Lucian Huang and Haiwuyan's clans were also aristocratic families in Yuezhou. 3 years ago, they had met at a gathering of the younger generation of Yuezhou's aristocratic families, and Lucian Huang and Haiwuyan had started to pursue Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyu. However, Lucian Huang and Haiwuyan's reputation wasn't very good. It was rumored that they had special hobbies. They liked to play with a phoenix and seek excitement. They were really rotten. Although this wasn't confirmed, it was still true. However, there was no such thing as an impenetrable wall. Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyu had naturally heard of this before, so they didn't have a good impression of Lucian Huang and Haiwuyan. However, the Qiao clan, the Lu clan, and the Hai clan were old friends, so they had to deal with these two people. Xiao Tingyu said, "Lin Gongzi, let's go in and take a look." Lin Feng nodded and entered a shop with Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyu. "Who's this guy? Lin Feng? Have you heard of him?" asked Lu Xianhuang with a gloomy expression. Haiwuyan shook her head with a disdainful expression. "I don't know where this brat came from, but he dares to touch the woman we've taken a fancy to? He really doesn't know what's good for him. Let's go take a look." Of course. Of a dozen or so people, Tingyu said, Of. Shouting You pointed at a piece of green stone and said, "I think this stone is pretty good. I wonder how much it's worth." Stones. Xiao Tingyu was shocked. A stone was actually so expensive. Even though she was a descendant of a clan of the ancients, she was still shocked by the price. "Tingyu, if you want to choose a stone, we can help you. Brotherly Xinghe, the eldest disciple of Stone King Xian Yuanlong, will be here soon." Lu Xianhuang smiled. At that moment, a commotion could be heard outside. A dozen or so cultivators were escorting a cultivator wearing a starry robe. The cultivator looked to be in his 30s. His body was adorned with jewels and treasures. The starry robe he wore was a high-grade prized treasure. His pair of Cloud Ascension boots were also high-grade prize treasures. His robe and the longevity bracelet on his wrist were all high-grade prized treasures. Wearing so many high-grade prized artifacts on his body showed that he was quite rich. Of course, the most precious item was the jade pendant on his waist. This jade pendant was called the Spirit Jade. Wearing the Spirit Jade could double the cultivation speed of the wearer. It was a precious treasure. Li Xinghe had an arrogant expression on his face. Heavens, it's Li Xinghe. He's the eldest disciple of Stone King Xian Yuanlong. He's only slightly better than Xian Yuanlong in identifying stones. Li Xinghe's arrival caused quite a stir. Stone King Xian Yuanlong was a famous expert in identifying stones in the nearby provinces. He'd cut out many good things from stones, and he'd even cut out a divine bone that had records of ancient techniques. Because of this, Xian Yuanlong was extremely famous. Countless ancestors from rich and powerful clans had asked him to help identify stones. As Xian Yuanlong's disciple, Li Xinghe naturally attracted a lot of attention. "Brother Li, you're here." Lu Xianhuang and Hai Wuyan bowed to him. Li Xinghe nodded. They chatted for a while, then a group of people walked over. Lu Xianhuang smiled and said, "Big Brother Li, these two are Chao Tingyu and Chao Tingyue from Yuezhou's Chao clan. They want to cut some stones and hope that Big Brother Li can help them choose some good stones." Li Xinghe said calmly, "If someone else had asked me, I wouldn't have helped them. However, the elders of your Lu clan are friends with my master, so I'll give you some face today." Lu Xianhuang immediately looked flattered, and she hurriedly thanked him. Li Xinghe looked at Chao Tingyu and asked, "You want to cut some stones?" Chao Tingyu bowed slightly, and Chao Tingyu nodded. Li Xinghe glanced at the dozens of stones around them, then pointed at a stone with golden spots on it. This stone is called Golden Spot Stone. If I'm not mistaken, this stone was formed in the deepest parts of a gold mine. The manager of the workshop said, "Young Master Li, you have a good eye. This stone was indeed mined from a large gold mine." Li Xinghe looked slightly pleased. He then looked at Chao Tingyu and said, "You can cut this golden spot stone." Li Xinghe didn't explain. He clasped his hands behind his back, looking very mysterious. Chao Tingyu asked, "How much is this stone?" 1,500 top-grade spirit stones. The manager of the workshop said. Chao Tingyu hesitated for a moment, but just as she was about to nod and buy the stone, Lin Feng smiled and said, "Tingyu, I think this stone is better." Lin Feng pointed at a black stone that was half a meter in diameter. It was bumpy and dark, and it looked very ordinary. "Brat, who are you? How dare you question my choice of stone?" Li Xinghe's expression sank. Lu Xianhuang and Hai Wuyan had long been jealous of Lin Feng because of Chao Tingyu and Chao Tingyu. When they saw that Lin Feng had actually asked Chao Tingyu to choose another stone, they immediately sneered. Lu Xianhuang said, "That brat is called Lin Feng. I don't know how he managed to get close to the Chao family." Hai Wuyan looked at Lin Feng indifferently and said with a fake smile, "Brother Lin, hurry up and apologize to Brother Li. Brother Li is a magnanimous person, and he won't blame you." Lin Feng said indifferently, "Apologize? Why should I apologize? I only asked Tingyu to choose a stone that caught my eye. I don't think I've offended anyone, right?" Li Xinghe's expression sank slightly, and he sneered, "The art of identifying stones is profound and unfathomable. Not just anyone can understand it." Lin Feng said indifferently, "It seems that this brother is very familiar with the art of identifying stones." Li Xinghe said proudly, "My master is the Stone King, Xian Yuanlong. Naturally, I have some understanding of the art of identifying stones. Since that's the case, how about we make a bet?" Lin Feng said with a half-smile. "What are we betting on?" Li Xinghe narrowed his eyes. "Let's bet on the value of the stones we choose. If you win, I'll give you a 50,000-year-old sacred herb. If you lose, you'll have to give me the psychic jade on your waist." Lin Feng said indifferently, "You want my psychic jade?" Li Xinghe's expression sank slightly, but when he thought about how Lin Feng was someone he had never even heard of, he couldn't help but wonder how capable he could be. Besides, the temptation of a sacred herb was too great. Although the psychic jade was precious, it couldn't compare to a sacred herb. Moreover, Li Xinghe was extremely confident in himself. "Brat, since you want to give me a treasure, How can I not take it? Chapter 901. Someone was using a 50,000-year-old sacred herb to bet against Li Xinghe, the disciple of Stone King Xian Yuanlong. News of this matter was about to spread. Many cultivators swarmed over, surrounding the area so tightly that not even a drop of water could pass through. Who's going to cut the rock first? Li Xinghe asked. You go first. Lin Feng waved his hand and smiled. Li Xinghe did not refuse. He took out his stone-cutting knife and walked over to the golden-spotted rock. Who's that kid? He actually dares to bet against Li Xinghe, and he even used a 50,000-year-old sacred herb to bet against Li Xinghe. That's too much. Does he have a card up his sleeve? A cultivator muttered. He should know a thing or two about identifying rocks. A hothead like him would never bet against Li Xinghe. However, Li Xinghe has received the legacy of Stone King Xian Yuanlong, and his ability to identify rocks is at least 30% of Xian Yuanlong's. Li Xinghe is now known as Little Stone King, and it's not for nothing. That young man is so young. Even if he knows a thing or two about identifying rocks, how can he compare to Li Xinghe? He probably wants to get Li Xinghe's intermediary spirit jade, so he wants to take a gamble. A treasure like the intermediary spirit jade is extremely rare. Wearing such a treasure can double one's absorption rate of spiritual energy. Who wouldn't want such a treasure? That's true, but how can Li Xinghe's treasure be so easy to get? He'll probably suffer a double loss in the end. Many people discussed among themselves. Clearly, they did not think highly of the bet between Lin Feng and Li Xinghe. After all, Li Xinghe was famous. Meanwhile, Li Xinghe had already started cutting the rock. Li Xinghe's stone-cutting technique was top-notch. Clearly, he was quite skilled. It did not take long for the rock to shrink by half, leaving only about 1 meter in diameter. Crack! Li Xinghe swung the knife again. This time, the knife seemed to have hit something hard, and a clanging sound could be heard. Everyone's expression suddenly changed. He had indeed cut something. Li Xinghe's lips curled into a smug smile. He increased the speed of his stone cutting. In the end, Li Xinghe cut out a set of armor. It was supposed to be a very powerful armor, but it was now broken. He seemed to have suffered a heavy blow in the past. Although the armor made from black demon iron is broken, it's still very valuable. If it can be repaired, it should be as powerful as a semi-finished defensive Dao tool. A blacksmith said, I don't know if I can fix it. Such a broken armor is worth at most a few dozen spiritual stones of the highest quality, said Lin Feng. Lin Feng said indifferently. The golden spot stone was worth 1,500 top-grade spirit stones. It was obviously a losing business to cut out such a broken armor. Li Xinghe's face was slightly gloomy. He said coldly, cutting a stone requires some luck. Moreover, there are very few stones that can be cut out. Now that it's your turn, I want to see what good things you can cut out of this stone. Lin Feng smiled indifferently and said, just watch. He took out his stone-cutting knife and began to cut the stone. Stone fragments flew everywhere. Not long after, waves of astonishing fluctuations were emitted from the stone. This is? Many people's eyes widened. Obviously, even if they didn't see what was inside the stone, everyone knew that there was definitely something good inside the stone. Li Xinghe's face became gloomy. Lin Feng naturally didn't care about Li Xinghe's mood at this moment. The stone continued to shrink. It was gradually cut open. Finally, the thing wrapped in the stone appeared in front of everyone's eyes. It turned out to be a pair of bronze hairpins. On the bronze hairpin, there was a 7-colored phoenix carved on it. It was beautiful. Bronze. Many people exclaimed. Bronze was a treasure passed down from the Bronze Age. For example, Lin Feng had once obtained a bronze mirror, which was very powerful, and Lin Feng actually cut out a pair of bronze hairpins. The value of this pair of hairpins was difficult to measure. Swish! Suddenly, everyone saw that the 2 bronze hairpins had turned into 2 blue phoenixes. The 2 blue phoenixes soared into the sky, wanting to fly away. The phoenix also had many branches. Feng, Huang, Luan, Bayan, 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 and so on were all branches of the phoenix. The blue phoenixes were naturally part of the phoenix clan. Suppress. Seeing that the two blue phoenixes were about to fly away, Lin Feng waved his right hand, and magic power rolled out, directly suppressing the two blue phoenixes. The two blue phoenixes once again turned into two bronze hairpins. The hairpins have a spirit. This is definitely a treasure. Many people were incomparably excited. Young friend, can you part with this pair of bronze hairpins? No matter what you want, this old man will try his best to find it for you. Young friend, this old man has a Tao artifact here. How about exchanging it for one of your bronze hairpins? Young friend, many experts of the older generation were alarmed and rushed over. They wanted to exchange for the two bronze hairpins in Lin Feng's hand. Bronze objects were very mysterious. They themselves had an immeasurable amount of power. Most importantly, they had immemorial runes recorded on them, so they were very valuable for research. The elders of these powerful groups naturally didn't want to miss out on treasures like bronze objects. Many people were astonished because many important people had come. Many of them were famous cultivators from the 10 prefectures around the ancient forest of fallen immortals. Now, they were all attracted by the bronze hairpins. But Lin Feng declined their offer to exchange the hairpins. He looked at Li Xinghe and smiled. It seems that you've lost this competition. Li Xinghe's mouth twitched violently. He nodded painfully and said, I didn't think that I'd meet such an expert today. Today, I, Li Xinghe, am willing to accept my loss. This psychic jade is yours. Li Xinghe threw the jade to Lin Feng. Lin Feng hadn't thought that Li Xinghe would be so straightforward. His impression of Li Xinghe changed a lot. In half a year, a batch of the best stones will appear in Saint Stone City. Legend has it that they're divine stones passed down from the ancient times. I hope Brother Lin can come when the time comes. Li Xinghe cupped his fists. Lin Feng was a little surprised. Such an ancient stone would probably produce something earth-shattering. Okay. Lin Feng cupped his fists. Li Xinghe didn't stay any longer and turned to leave. Lu Xianhuang and Hai Wuyan's expressions were gloomy. They glared at Lin Feng fiercely and quickly chased after him. Lin Feng gave the two bronze hairpins to the sisters, Qiao Tingyu and Qiao Tingyue. The sisters were stunned. For us? Many people's mouths twitched violently. That was a bronze object. Its value couldn't be measured with spirit stones. But Lin Feng was giving it away so casually. Wasn't he too generous? A precious hairpin to match a beauty. This kind of ancient bronze hairpin suits your temperament. Lin Feng smiled. Qiao Tingyu and Qiao Tingyue immediately blushed and shyly reached out to take the bronze hairpins. This guy won't win the hearts of the sisters just because he gave the hairpins to the beauties, right? Maybe he'll be able to play with both of them. Chapter 902. Brotherly, that brat doesn't know the immensity of heaven and earth. He actually dared to win your psychic jade. He's just courting death. He must have guessed correctly. Why don't we find someone to secretly get rid of him? Lu Xianhuang chased after him, her eyes filled with killing intent. Hai Wuyan also said, Brotherly, you don't need to do anything. We can do it for you. Li Xinghe glanced indifferently at Lu Xianhuang and Hai Wuyan. He couldn't help but feel disgusted by them. He said indifferently, that Lin Feng isn't as simple as he seems on the surface. You don't need to follow me. I'm going back to Holy Stone City to study the stone identification technique with Master. As soon as he finished speaking, Li Xinghe left with a dozen cultivators. Lu Xianhuang and Hai Wuyan's expressions kept changing. Hai Wuyan spat on the ground and said, What the hell? I already said that he didn't need to do anything, but he still left so quickly. What a coward. Lu Xianhuang said gloomily, After this battle, I'm afraid that those two bitches, Qiao Tingyu and Qiao Tingyue, will be dead set on that brat. If he dares to steal the women we like, he'll only end up dead. Hai Wuyan nodded and said, Then we'll find a good opportunity to get rid of him. Little friend, can you help me identify a few stones? When the time comes, you'll definitely be handsomely rewarded. I also have a few stones that need to be identified. I hope you can help me. Many older cultivators crowded forward, hoping that Lin Feng would help them. Lin Feng said, If you want me to identify stones, you have to follow my rules. If you can produce a law, you can ask me to help. Lin Feng's words caused a huge commotion. The rewards were too harsh. If they had a law, who wouldn't keep it for themselves and refine it? It could greatly increase one's cultivation. Little friend, your conditions are too harsh. Immediately, many experts of the older generation frowned and said. Lin Feng said indifferently, it's not worth it to pay such a high price for ordinary stones. If it's a top-grade stone that's worth hundreds of thousands, millions, or even millions of top-grade spirit stones, then it's possible to cut out something unimaginable. Paying a Dharma law to have me appraise stones is a win-win situation. Who do you think you are? A mere junior dares to boast shamelessly here? An expert sneered. If you can afford it, then make a move. If you can't, then scram. Don't embarrass yourself here. Lin Feng clasped his hands behind his back and sneered. Since the other party's words were disrespectful, Lin Feng naturally didn't need to be polite. Insolent brat, I'd like to see what you're capable of today. As soon as he finished speaking, a middle-aged man walked over. The middle-aged man walked with a majestic gait. It was as if there was a primordial force in his body. He was abnormally powerful. Is that Huangfu Dushang from the Yuhua Immortal Dynasty? Someone was astonished. The Yuhua Immortal Dynasty was an ancient dynasty of the celestial continent. It was a powerful group in the ancient forest of fallen immortals. So you're from the Yuhua Immortal Dynasty, said Lin Feng coldly. Even though that person was strong, Lin Feng wasn't afraid. If they fought, even if that person was a creation layer cultivator, he could still kill him. The Yuhua Immortal Dynasty has overstepped its boundaries, said someone coldly. Thump, thump, thump. Huangfu Dushang was pushed back 3 steps. An old man came out of the courtyard. Qi Lian Sun from Holy Stone City. Many people were astonished when they saw that old man. The Qi Lian clan from Holy Stone City was also an ancient clan. They were unfathomably strong. Qi Lian Sun was an expert of the older generation of the Qilian clan. His strength was known as the Fortune Realm. I was wrong. I hope you don't blame me. Huangfu Dushang's expression changed slightly. He didn't dare act presumptuously again. He hastily apologized to Qi Lian Sun. Forget it. I'll forgive you this time. Qi Lian Sun waved his hand and looked at Lin Feng. He smiled and said, young friend, don't you think that your request is too harsh? Lin Feng said calmly, if I want an expert to help me, I naturally have to pay a price. Many people were discussing spiritedly. Lin Feng was a young cultivator. Even if he knew how to identify stones, could he be considered an expert? Even the stone monarch Xian Yuanlong would not make such a harsh request for someone to take out the laws. Lin Feng was only around 20 years old. What did he have to make such a request? Many people thought that Lin Feng was being arrogant. Even Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyue were anxious. If they offended an important person like Qi Lian Sun because of this, they would die without a grave. It is said that heroes come from the young. Today, I would like to see it for myself. Little friend, I have a batch of stones that I want to transport to Holy Stone City. These stones belong to my Qilian clan. I plan to cut a stone. Can you help me take a look? Said Qi Lian Sun. Stones for Holy Stone City? No wonder Qi Lian Sun is here. It seems that Qi Lian Sun is in charge of escorting these stones. How precious are these stones that require such an expert to escort them? Many people were astonished. What about the reward? Asked Lin Feng. Qi Lian Sun stretched out his right hand and saw a twisted mass of law sealed in it. This is a fire demon beast emperor's law. Qi Lian Sun gave the law to Lin Feng. Old man, you're quite a straightforward person. Let's go take a look at the stones, said Lin Feng. Please follow me, said Qi Lian Sun as he walked towards the courtyard. Of course, not just anyone had the qualifications to enter. Only a dozen or so of the older generation were allowed to enter and watch. Apart from them, only Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyue were allowed to enter. Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyue were extremely nervous. What would they do if they couldn't cut anything good? There were more than 30 stones in the 8th courtyard. These were the stones that Qi Lian Sun was escorting to Holy Stone City. Those stones belonged to the Qi Lian clan, not Qi Lian Sun. Therefore, Qi Lian Sun had to spend a lot of money to cut them. Young friend, the stones are all here. Please choose one for me, said Qi Lian Sun. Choose one for me, said Qi Lian Sun. Lin Feng nodded and walked towards the stones. Lin Feng's body emitted a black fog that enveloped Lin Feng. What's that? Qilian Sun and the dozen or so older generation experts were all shocked. Obviously, they had never seen Lin Feng's stone discernment technique. He's trying to hide his stone discernment technique, right? Said an old man. Chapter 903. More than 30 stones were extraordinary. Lin Feng could sense the astonishing energy fluctuations contained within them. There were all kinds of treasures sealed in these stones. The stronger the energy fluctuations, the more precious the item would be. This was how ordinary cultivators identified stones. Of course, it wasn't guaranteed to succeed. Lin Feng's stone identification technique was based on sensing the energy fluctuations of the sealed item and combining it with the snake eye to determine whether the item was valuable or not. Lin Feng glanced at a silver-white stone. It was surrounded by white fog. It was called an immortal flying stone. It was an extremely rare stone. Lin Feng looked at the immortal flying stone. His heart was pounding. The immortal flying stone was extraordinary. Lin Feng could sense that there was something terrifying inside. That feeling made his heart tremble. The thing inside the immortal flying stone had an extremely strong murderous qi. Once it was born, it would cause terrible consequences. How much is this immortal flying stone worth? Asked Lin Feng. 3,120,000 top-grade spirit stones, said Qi Lishuan. Lin Feng was astonished. Lin Feng was surprised. Celestial flying stones were extremely expensive. They were as expensive as a Dao weapon. Is this a stone passed down from the immemorial era? Asked Lin Feng. Indeed. This immortal flying stone is one of the immemorial stones, said Qi Lishuan. Lin Feng nodded. Lin Feng understood. No wonder the celestial ascension stone was so terrifying. It was a stone from the ancient times. It had existed for a very long time. It was normal for something terrifying to have been born in it. Take this immortal flying stone back to Holy Stone City and seal it. It's best if you don't cut it open, said Lin Feng. Why is that? Asked Qi Lishuan. This stone is extremely dangerous, said Lin Feng. Qi Lishuan frowned. He didn't want to hear that. Sealing such an ancient stone would be a huge loss for the Qilian clan. Lin Feng didn't care too much about Qi Lishuan's opinion. He just expressed his own opinion. He then observed the rest of the stone materials. Lin Feng found a few very special stone materials. 3 of them seemed to have given birth to something amazing, but Lin Feng could not see through these 3 stones, so he did not know what was inside. He guessed that these 3 stones should also be ancient stones. As for whether they could be cut into something good, Lin Feng was not sure. Lin Feng cut the stone. He only cut stones that he could understand. Don't cut stones that you don't understand. Finally, Lin Feng stopped in front of a navy blue stone. This stone had a blue light surging inside it. Although Lin Feng couldn't see what was inside the blue light, he could feel a majestic life force emitting from it. This life force shocked and moved Lin Feng. That's it. Please cut the stone. Lin Feng pointed to the navy blue stone material. Qi Lishuan nodded. He came to the stone material, took out a stone-cutting knife, and began to cut the stone. Except for Lin Feng, everyone held their breath and looked nervously. This navy blue stone material was worth 470,000 top-grade spirit stones, which could be called a sky-high price. They didn't know if it could be cut into something good. If it couldn't be cut into something good, Qi Lishuan would suffer a big loss this time. The stone material kept getting bigger, but there was nothing. When the stone material was only the size of a fist, nothing could be cut out. Qi Lishuan's face was gloomy. The white-haired old men were also whispering to each other. From time to time, they would look at Lin Feng with pity in their eyes. Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyue were very nervous and worried. It seemed that nothing valuable could be cut out of this stone material. How would Qi Lishuan deal with Lin Feng? They were very worried about Lin Feng's safety. I'm afraid this stone material is useless, Qi Lishuan said in a deep voice. Lin Feng clasped his hands behind his back, still wearing a calm expression. Many people admired Lin Feng's state of mind. This kid was still so calm even now. They really didn't know what was going on in this guy's head. Could it be that he didn't know fear? Lin Feng said indifferently, cut it again. Qi Lian Sun's final strike split the fist-sized stone into two. Suddenly, a strong aura of life spread out. A drop of spirit liquid dripped out of the stone material. It was a drop of emerald green spirit liquid. Qi Lianshuan was shocked and hurriedly wrapped the spirit liquid with his magic power. Spring of life. A white-haired old man cried out in surprise, his face full of disbelief. What? Spring of life? The essence of life nurtured by the tree of life? Spring of life comparable to a medicine of immortality? Another white-haired old man roared in shock. A medicine of immortality could rejuvenate a person's youth. A drop of spring of life naturally couldn't achieve the same effect as an entire medicine of immortality. However, it also had endless effects. Although it was impossible to return to one's youth after consuming it, it could at least make one 1,000 years younger. As one grew older, one's body would become weaker and weaker. In the secular world, there was a saying that people who lived to 70 were rare. In other words, people who lived to 70 were about to die. This was because the body was too old and couldn't continue living. If one consumed the spring of life, their body would immediately improve and become younger. Apart from being able to make people younger, the spring of life had many other miraculous effects, such as activating the dried-up divine power in a person's body, extending their lifespan by 800 years, healing injuries, etc. This was a treasure that surpassed a medicine of immortality. Haha, thank you so much, young friend. Qi Lianshuan's gloomy face became extremely excited, even to the point of speaking incoherently. Lin Feng said indifferently, "You don't need to thank me. This is what you deserve. I also got what I wanted. Tingyue, let's go." Seeing that Lin Feng was about to leave, a white-haired old man hurriedly said, "Young friend, I also have a law here. I hope you can help me get a treasure." As soon as he finished speaking, the old man also took out a sealed law. The old man was called Duamu Chang, and he was an ancestor of the Duamu family, the #1 power in Yuezhou. He was almost a giant, and although he was slightly weaker than Qi Lianshuan, he was still an unfathomable figure. He was only one step away from becoming a giant. Lin Feng took the law. He pointed at an ink-colored stone and said, "Senior, please cut that stone." Duamu Chang nodded and went to cut the stone. Everyone looked over. The stone kept shrinking. Finally, a refreshing fragrance wafted out from the stone. An ink-colored fruit was sealed by a stone. This is the soaring dragon fruit. When he saw the fruit, Duanmu Chang's eyes almost popped out. He was so excited that his whole body was trembling. Heavens, it's actually the soaring dragon fruit. Qi Lianshuan's expression changed. The soaring dragon fruit, the reincarnation of life and death. The soaring dragon fruit was a rare treasure of heaven and earth. If a cultivator at the peak of the creation realm used it to break through to the life and death realm, their chances of success would increase by 60%. If a cultivator at the peak of the life and death realm used the soaring dragon fruit to break through to the rebirth realm, their chances of success would increase by 30%. It's actually the soaring dragon fruit. This is a heavenly treasure that has disappeared since the ancient times. Duamu Chang actually obtained it. It seems like he's about to break through to the life and death realm and become a giant. The white-haired elders looked at Duanmu Chang enviously. They were also quasi-giants. They couldn't break through. Now that they saw Duanmu Chang cut the soaring dragon fruit, their hearts were filled with mixed feelings. At this moment, everyone came back to their senses. Lin Feng had cut 2 stones. He had cut them into the spring of life and the soaring dragon fruit. His ability to distinguish stones was too terrifying, wasn't it? Even the Stone King, Xin Yuanlong, was a far cry from him, right? Godly, truly godly. Reaching perfection is a saint. Little friend, you should be respectfully called the Stone Saint. Qi Lian Sun and the others said excitedly. They looked at where Lin Feng was standing and found that Lin Feng had already left with his 2 female companions. Quickly go find the little Stone Saint, the old men said excitedly. Lin Feng was too young, so they added the word little in front of him. Lin Feng was called the Little Stone Saint by this group of people. This was quite similar to how Lin Feng was called the Little Stone Saint in Angry Axe City because Lin Feng's ability to distinguish stones had reached perfection. Qi Lian Sun said, "Everyone, Since the little stone saint left quietly, it means he doesn't want to be disturbed. Won't he go to Holy Stone City in half a year? We should think of a way to collect the origin laws and wait for him to come to Holy Stone City in half a year. That's right. No matter what price we have to pay, we have to find the origin laws. When the time comes, we'll ask the little stone saint to pick the stones for us. In the eyes of outsiders, this group of old men was respectable, but at this moment, they were like young cultivators who had seen a hero they worshipped. They were so excited that they couldn't control themselves. Chapter 904. On the way back, Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyue's emotions were very complicated. Firstly, it was because Lin Feng had given them the ancient bronze hairpin, causing them to be incomparably shy. At the same time, they couldn't help but let their imaginations run wild. Most of the time, a man would give a woman a hairpin as a token of love. Such a precious thing, yet Lin Feng had given each of them one. Could it be that he had taken a fancy to both of them at the same time? This caused the two sisters to let their imaginations run wild. Although the relationship between the two of them was good, they couldn't accept the fact that the two of them were serving the same husband. However, if they were to give up on Lin Feng just like that, the two of them wouldn't be able to do it. Secondly, it was because of Lin Feng's godly stone discernment technique, which could be said to have reached perfection. Even Stone King Xian Yuanlong was far inferior to Lin Feng, right? Lin Feng's body added a lot of mysterious colors, like a fatal poison that teased the hearts of the two sisters, causing them to involuntarily want to know everything about Lin Feng. Just like when they came, when they left, many people had envious, jealous, and hateful expressions when they saw such a pair of beautiful sisters by Lin Feng's side. They really wanted to become Lin Feng so that they could enjoy the happiness of having two wives. After the three of them left the stone workshop, Lin Feng said with a smile, "Don't tell others about what happened in the stone workshop, so as to avoid causing unnecessary trouble." Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyue nodded. After returning to his residence, Lin Feng began to go into seclusion to refine the two laws. As for Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyue, they both returned to their rooms and laid on their beds. Their minds were filled with Lin Feng's figure, and they couldn't get rid of it. As if they had thought of some embarrassing scene, the two sisters covered their pink faces and shyly twisted their soft and enchanting bodies on the bed. As for Lin Feng, he was refining the two laws he had obtained. He had already refined one of the laws in his body. After breaking through to the creation realm, one would condense a law. Under normal circumstances, a cultivator at the first layer of the creation realm would have one law. A cultivator at the second layer of the creation realm possessed 3 laws. A cultivator at the third firmament of the creation realm possessed 9 laws. A cultivator at the fourth layer of the creation realm possessed 27 laws. A cultivator at the fifth heavenly layer of the creation realm possessed 81 strands of Dharma laws. A cultivator at the sixth heavenly layer of the creation realm possessed 243 Dharma laws. A cultivator at the seventh layer of the creation realm possessed 729 Dharma laws. A cultivator at the eighth heavenly layer of the creation realm possessed 2,187 laws. A cultivator at the ninth layer of the creation realm possessed 6,561 strands of Dharma laws. A cultivator at the 10th heavenly layer of the creation realm possessed 19,683 strands of Dharma laws. As one's cultivation increased, the difference in the number of nomological laws that creation realm cultivators possessed would increase. The difference in strength would also increase. Although Lin Feng was only at the 8th heaven of the Yin-Yang realm, he had cultivated the Archean dragonesque elephant skill, so his physical body was comparable to a master at the peak of the creation realm. His soul had also reached the 9th level of the creation realm. Because he had a law in his body, he was not weaker than a cultivator at the first firmament of the creation realm in terms of dharmic powers. Lin Feng had cultivated various powerful primordial mystic techniques. His strength was definitely enough to challenge a master at the second or third firmament of the creation realm. If Lin Feng refined the 2 laws that he had just obtained, the laws in his body would be exactly the same as a cultivator at the second firmament of the creation realm. His strength would soar again. Lin Feng spent the entire night refining the laws in his body. At dawn, The two laws were finally refined successfully. When Lin Feng sensed the increase in his strength, a smile appeared on his face. The next day, Lin Feng woke up late in the morning. When Lin Feng came out, he realized that Xiao Jinyu's friends had already arrived. Xiao Jinyu introduced them to everyone. There were a total of 5 of Xiao Jinyu's friends, 3 men and 2 women. They were all disciples of aristocratic families and had extraordinary talent. Among the 3 male cultivators, the slender and handsome cultivator was called Wang Fei. The skinny and slightly wretched cultivator was called Tian Kuan. The medium-sized cultivator was called Zhao Kuo. Among the 2 women, the charming woman in a red dress was called Li Shishir. The other woman, who looked cold, was called Nalan Bing. The 5 of them only thought that Lin Feng was a friend of the Qiao family, so they did not pay much attention to Lin Feng. Moreover, Lin Feng's strength was not very strong in their eyes. This was because the weakest among the 5 of them was at the quasi-creation realm. Wang Fei, Tian Kuan, and Nalan Bing had already broken through to the creation realm. The group sat down and discussed entering the ancient forest of the fallen immortal to search for the Falling Star Mountain Range. Li Shishir said, "The Falling Star Mountain Range is located in the central area of the ancient forest of the fallen immortal. There are already beast emperors in that area. It is extremely dangerous. If we are not careful, we will die. Therefore, we should not act alone." The others nodded. Xiao Jinyu asked, "What do you plan to do?" Nalan Bing said, "We have already asked around. It is said that a few large factions will be bringing large flying ships. There will be patriarchs on the ships, and they will be enough to deter the beast emperors in the ancient forest of the fallen immortal. How about we take a flying ship?" Obviously, Wang Fei, Tian Kuan, and Zhao Kuo already knew about this. Now that Nalan Bing had brought it up, she wanted to ask for Xiao Jinyu's opinion. Xiao Jinyu nodded and said, "This is the safest way. Let's wait for the flying ship to arrive." 3 days later, several flying ships arrived one after another. Because the flying ships were personally escorted by patriarchs, it was much safer. Therefore, the cost was naturally very high. The most basic cabin cost 10 top-grade spirit stones per person. The VIP cabin cost 30 top-grade spirit stones. The luxury cabin cost 80 top-grade spirit stones. There were also private rooms. The private rooms were divided into different tiers, but the cheapest one cost 2,000 top-grade spirit stones. Some of the more expensive ones cost tens of thousands of top-grade spirit stones. Lin Feng and the others boarded the flying ship. There were 21 people in total. Xiao Jinyu and the others spent 8,000 top-grade spirit stones to book a medium-sized private room. The room was well-equipped, and there was even a cultivation room. It was very convenient. There was also a trading area inside the flying ship, where all sorts of items could be traded. At the same time, there was also a newly opened casino. One could gamble in the casino, and one could also bet on stones. It attracted many people. Lin Feng was not interested in it. He cultivated in his room, but he would occasionally go out to chat with the others. One day, when they were passing by a mountain range, a terrifying aura suddenly spread out from the mountain range. An endless black fog surged out from the mountain range. There seemed to be something terrifying in the black fog. Boom! The flying ship was attacked, and it shook violently in the air. Then, the flying ship started to fall. Many people were so frightened that their faces turned pale. Chapter 905. Fear quickly spread. Many people rushed out of the private rooms. The falling spaceship was hard to control. It was likely that the spaceship had been damaged. The ancient forest of fallen immortals was a terrifying place. So what if there were ancestor-level cultivators? The ferocious beasts of the ancient forest of fallen immortals were not afraid of them. "Open the cabins, get out." The captain of the spaceship bellowed and gave the order. After the cabin was opened, countless cultivators flew out in a panic. But as soon as they flew out, they started to scream. In the sky, poisonous insects covered the sky. They were as big as a thumb. They looked like ants, scorpions, or centipedes. Their entire bodies were poisonous. Once stung, the body would be paralyzed. These poisonous insects were extremely terrifying. Many people were attacked by the poisonous insects. Their bodies fell down. Then, The insects covered the sky and covered the cultivators' bodies. In a few breaths' time, those cultivators turned into bones and fell down. It was a tragic death. There are poisonous insects. Use your Dharma powers to protect yourself, shouted a cultivator. The people behind him hurriedly used their Dharma powers. Take out your bronze tools to protect yourself, said Lin Feng to Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyu. The two girls nodded. A group of people rushed out, but there were too many people. They were quickly separated. Lin Feng was in the middle of the crowd. When he was about to rush out of the cabin, he suddenly felt a biting, cold, murderous intent surround him. He turned around and saw more than 10 people coming out of the cabin. It was Huangfu Dushang. He was a strong cultivator of the Yuhua immortal dynasty. His cultivation level was unfathomable. Master, let's go and deal with this boy, said a cultivator next to Huangfu Dushang. The airship is about to fall. You guys go out. I'll deal with this boy. Huangfu Dushang's lips curved into a cold smile. Yes. More than 10 cultivators rushed out of the cabin. Huangfu Dushang locked onto Lin Feng. As long as Lin Feng dared to move, he was attacking like a thunderbolt. The cultivators outside were attacked by the beast horde. Various ferocious birds swooped down from the sky, and countless wild beasts charged out from the forest to attack the cultivators who were charging out from the flying ships. Many cultivators were drowned by the horde of beasts and died instantly. Let's go. 6 to 7 cultivators had gathered around Xiao Jinyu, while the rest of the people had been scattered. He found Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyue, the siblings. Where's Lin Feng? Big brother, have you seen Lin Feng? Xiao Tingyu and Xiao Tingyue were looking for Lin Feng's whereabouts with pale faces. Seeing that his two sisters were so concerned about Lin Feng, Xiao Jinyu felt a little uncomfortable in his heart. He felt that his two sisters seemed to have fallen in love with Lin Feng. Although Xiao Jinyu also had a good impression of Lin Feng, it was naturally difficult for him to accept that his two sisters admired the same man at the same time. But when it came to feelings, who could say for sure? Moreover, his two sisters were rather opinionated people, so why would they listen to him? Of course, now was not the time to think about this. The most important thing now was to leave this dangerous place as soon as possible. Xiao Jinyu said in a low voice, Brother Lin's strength is unfathomable. Nothing will happen to him. Let's leave quickly. If something happens to you, won't Brother Lin feel pain and regret when he finds out? The two sisters bit their red lips. After a fierce struggle in their hearts, they finally nodded. Xiao Jinyu could not help but smile bitterly. He was now certain that his two sisters had secretly fallen in love with Lin Feng. Let's go. The group quickly rushed into the distance. Roar! At that moment, a deafening roar shook the sky and the ground cracked open. A giant devil that was 1,000 meters tall rushed out and threw a punch at them. The giant devil's strength was too terrifying. It was definitely at the 5th or 6th heavenly layer of the creation realm. Many cultivators died miserably. Not good, that's a dark giant devil. It's at the 6th heavenly layer of the creation realm. Tingyue, hurry up and leave. I'll stop it. Xiao Jinyu's expression changed greatly. He was clearly a responsible person. Facing the dark giant devil's attack, Xiao Jinyu knew that if he could not stop it, everyone would die here. His first thought was to let his two sisters and his clansmen escape. Just as Xiao Jinyu was about to risk his life to stop the dark giant devil, a phoenix cry rang out. 2 blue phoenixes soared into the sky and pounced on the dark giant devil, sending it flying. In the end, the 2 blue phoenixes turned into 2 ancient bronze hairpins and flew back into Xiao Ting and Xiao Tingyue's hands. Bronze items. When he saw the 2 ancient bronze hairpins, Xiao Jinyu's expression was full of shock. He naturally knew how shocking the value of these treasures was. How could his 2 sisters have such terrifying treasures? Xiao Tingyu said, Lin Feng gave them to us. Xiao Jinyu smiled bitterly. It was no wonder that his 2 sisters had secretly fallen in love with Lin Feng. Lin Feng originally possessed a charm that women found hard to resist, and he was also so generous. He could easily give away a bronze item that was so precious that even the ancient giants would go crazy for it. This gave Xiao Jinyu an indescribable feeling. The group did not dare to stay any longer and quickly left. Bang! A violent collision occurred within the airship. Lin Feng and Huangfu Dushang were engaged in a great battle. With just one strike, Lin Feng was sent flying by Huangfu Dushang. His face was somewhat pale. Only after exchanging blows did he realize how powerful Huangfu Dushang was. This person's cultivation had probably already reached the 7th or 8th level of the creation realm. Brat, it's useless. You don't have to struggle anymore, because no matter how you struggle, you will definitely die today. The corner of Huangfu Dushang's mouth curled up into a cold expression. He walked towards Lin Feng step by step. Is that so? Lin Feng sneered. He directly threw out hundreds of talismans. Boom, boom. The talismans exploded. Next, the entire airship began to explode. Madman! Huangfu Dushang's face changed greatly. How could he still care about Lin Feng? If the airship exploded, both he and Lin Feng would be blown to death. Lin Feng also rushed outside, but it was obviously too late. Boom! A loud sound shook the sky, and the entire airship began to explode in the process of falling. The energy generated by the explosion blasted towards Lin Feng and Huangfu Dushang. Lin Feng and Huangfu Dushang hurriedly took out their magic treasures to block. But even so, Huangfu Dushang was still shaken to the point that he vomited large mouthfuls of blood. His face was deathly pale. It was obvious that he had suffered heavy injuries. Lin Feng's situation was not much better than Huangfu Dushang's. He vomited 3 mouthfuls of blood in a row, his body falling down. But in midair, Lin Feng stabilized his body in time, and then rushed into the distance. Brat, I want your life. Huangfu Dushang roared in anger, his entire face distorted. Lin Feng was like an ant in Huangfu Dushang's eyes. But today, he was almost schemed to death by someone he regarded as an ant. Huangfu Dushang was completely enraged. When fighting against an expert of Huangfu Duishang's level, he could not be the slightest bit careless. Huangfu Duishang sneered, "It's useless. No matter how powerful your attack is, it won't be able to withstand a single blow from me." As soon as he finished speaking, Huangfu Duishang swept a flying immortal fist towards Lin Feng. Clang! A muffled collision sound rang out. It was as if 2 primordial beasts had collided. The energy waves that dissipated destroyed a large area of the surrounding forest. Lin Feng was sent flying by Huangfu Duishang's attack. Crack! Crack! His arm was broken. Huangfu Duishang's realm was too high. There was almost no suspense in this battle. If it wasn't for the 7 treasures glazed pagoda's defensive power that had absorbed most of Huangfu Duishang's power, that attack, just now, could have even completely destroyed Lin Feng's body. Lin Feng's life would return to the Yellow Springs. Let's see how you're going to attack with a broken arm. Huangfu Duishang walked over step by step, the corners of his mouth full of cold, killing intent. I forgot to tell you that I have a special physique. Lin Feng activated his immortal divine body, and the technique that had been broken by Huangfu Duishang directly recovered. Huangfu Duishang's face became gloomy when he saw this scene. What a strange special physique. But this kind of physique can't infinitely heal an injured body. Watch how I'll completely destroy your body. Huangfu Duishang rushed over and launched an extremely violent attack on Lin Feng. The strength of the 8th level of the creation realm was completely displayed. Under Huangfu Duishang's attacks, Lin Feng's body was destroyed again and again. Many places were covered in white bones. If it wasn't for the 7 treasures glazed pagoda that had absorbed most of Huangfu Duishang's power, Lin Feng would have died at Huangfu Duishang's hands more than 10 times. Using the immortal divine body to continuously repair his body had consumed Lin Feng's Fa Li very quickly, and he felt that he couldn't hold on any longer. This made Lin Feng's face become as gloomy as water. Boy, it seems that you can't hold on any longer. Within 3 moves, I can take your life. Huangfu Duishang laughed sinisterly, and he attacked again. A fist swept towards Lin Feng. Bang! A punch landed on Lin Feng's chest. Crack, crack. Lin Feng's sternum was shattered. Lin Feng flew out like a kite with a broken string, and his face was as pale as a sheet. This attack had caused him to be seriously injured again. Lin Feng got up from the ground and couldn't help but laugh bitterly. A high-level creation realm cultivator. It was really too terrifying. He almost didn't have any strength to fight back. Lin Feng naturally knew his current situation. If this continued, it wouldn't be long before he died. He was going to die at Huangfu Duishang's hands. Is it possible to? Seeing Huangfu Duishang attacking again, Lin Feng suddenly had a crazy idea in his mind. If he succeeded, he might be able to kill Huangfu Duishang. Boy, accept the fate of death. Huangfu Duishang smiled sinisterly. Whoosh! At this moment, a treasure flew out and rushed towards Huangfu Duishang. A Dao artifact, a small golden bell. This was the Dao artifact that Lin Feng and Ning Hanzhuang had obtained from Xiang Jin after killing him together. This Dao artifact's power was extremely tyrannical. Now, Lin Feng had used this Dao artifact to attack Huangfu Duishang. Huangfu Duishang was shocked. Obviously, he didn't expect Lin Feng to have two Dao artifacts on him. Then, Huangfu Duishang's eyes revealed endless greed. No matter how many treasures you have, these treasures will belong to me in the end. Huangfu Duishang laughed loudly. Monstrous magic power spread out. Huangfu Duishang used his powerful magic power to suppress the small golden bell. Under Huangfu Duishang's suppression, the Dao artifact couldn't move an inch. Plunder. Huangfu Duishang's mind power poured into the Dao artifact. He wanted to forcefully erase the mind imprint that Lin Feng had left in the small golden bell. Explode. At this moment, Lin Feng shouted. Once a treasure at the level of a Dao artifact self-destructed, it could cause unimaginable destructive power. Ordinary people would not self-destruct their Dao artifacts. This was because Dao artifacts were too precious. No one was willing to self-destruct their Dao artifacts. But Lin Feng didn't care. No matter how precious a Dao artifact was, it was still not worth mentioning compared to his own life. Waves of destructive power spread out from the Dao artifact. Huangfu Duishang was so scared that his face turned pale. He threw the Dao artifact into the distance and turned to flee. Boom! But it was too late. The small golden bell self-destructed. The destructive power of a space-time storm escaped from the center of the explosion. It directly swallowed Huangfu Duishang. No! Huangfu Duishang screamed. However, he couldn't escape and was drowned by the destructive power of the Dao artifact's self-destruction. Lin Feng used the 7 treasures glazed pagoda to protect himself and fled frantically into the distance. Bang! Chapter 907. The energy gradually dissipated. As for Huangfu Duishang, he had already been blasted into a pile of minced meat and bones that were scattered all around. Whoosh! Lin Feng, who was in the forest, was gasping for breath. He felt that he could not move his body at all. His injuries were extremely severe, and the magic power in his body had dried up. Endless darkness swept over. Lin Feng fainted. The Immortal Prefecture was one of the top 10 prefectures in Tianwu University's 63,000 prefectures. All kinds of powerful forces were located here. Rumor has it that ancient cultivators ascended to the Undying Realm from the Immortal Province's flying Immortal Cliff. However, after the ancient era, the order of the Heaven Martial Continent changed, and there were no more Deity Realm experts, let alone ascending to the Undying Realm. The Immortal Province's Yuhua Immortal Dynasty was a famous power in the Immortal Province. The Yuhua Immortal Dynasty was a scene of prosperity and extravagance. This power had been passed down for a long time and was abnormally powerful. There were also many experts among the younger generation. Huangfu Qingtian was also a peak-level genius. Yuhua Immortal Dynasty Imperial Palace, Origin Spirit Lamp Hall. More than a dozen eunuchs were cleaning up the dust. Crack, crack. Suddenly, a primordial spirit lamp shattered. To be able to be placed in the Yuhua Immortal Dynasty's primordial spirit lamp hall, one must be from the Yuhua Immortal Dynasty's royal family. When the primordial spirit lamp was broken, it meant that the corresponding cultivator had died. The eunuchs were so frightened that they fell on their butts and sat on the ground. Their faces were filled with horror. It's Lord Huangfu Duishang's origin spirit lamp, a young eunuch said in a trembling voice. Huangfu Duishang was at the 8th level of the creation realm. Even in the Yuhua immortal dynasty, he had a very noble status. But now, he was dead. The world is going to change. The leader of the eunuchs said with a trembling voice, no matter who killed Huangfu Dushang. For this matter, the Yuhua immortal dynasty wouldn't let this matter rest. The eunuch quickly went to report to the grand eunuch in charge of the primordial spirit lamp hall. The head eunuch Si Li's expression changed when he learned of this. He quickly arrived at Yuhua Palace. This was the place where the human emperor of the Yuhua immortal dynasty read all sorts of memorials. Reporting to the human emperor, your servant has an important matter to discuss with you. The chief eunuch Si Li knelt on the ground. Speak. A faintly discernible yet supremely dignified voice came from the Ascension Palace. Huangfu Dushang, who went to the ancient forest of the fallen immortals to search for Yuan meteor stones, has fallen? There's actually such a thing? Go and investigate. No matter who it is, I'll crush their bones to dust for daring to kill the people of the Yuhua immortal dynasty. An angry voice came from the Yuhua Palace. The night was bright and the stars were sparse. It was quiet in the forest. There were no roars of beasts, no chirping of insects or birds. Lin Feng's finger suddenly moved slightly. His eyelashes fluttered slightly. Then, he opened his eyes. He looked at the bright moon and the stars in the sky. Then, he coughed violently. Every time he coughed up blood. He's actually still alive? How lucky. Lin Feng took a deep breath. He struggled to get up, then took out hundreds of top-grade spirit stones, piled them up beside him, and began to devour the energy of the top-grade spirit stones. A large amount of energy was absorbed by Lin Feng. The energy was converted into magic power, which continuously nourished Lin Feng's body. Lin Feng then used his immortal divine body to heal his injuries. Lin Feng's body was almost fully healed. Phew! Lin Feng let out a long breath. He sensed his body's condition and felt that he had almost fully recovered. Lin Feng took out a body-cleansing talisman and removed the bloodstains from his body. Then, he changed into a fresh set of clothes. He looked at the ruins in the distance. The ruins were huge, and there were broken fences and broken walls. It was quiet. Lin Feng was very surprised. How could there be such a huge ruin here? And from the looks of it, this place should have been very prosperous in the past. Lin Feng flew deeper into the ruins. Along the way, he saw many huge palaces, but they were all in ruins. Finally, Lin Feng stopped in front of a plaza. What is this place? He was very confused. There were so many palaces, but no clues were left behind. Lin Feng couldn't find out the truth of what happened here in the past. In the middle of the night, the moon was setting in the west. Lin Feng suddenly realized something strange. The silver moon and the 9 stars were connected in a line. He tried to look at it from another place, but he couldn't see this special situation. He could only see it from the center of the plaza. Could this place be? Suddenly, Lin Feng had a flash of inspiration. The 9 stars were connected. 9 tortoise shells. He quickly took out the 9 tortoise shells and placed them on the ground. Then, something strange happened. In the starry sky, the 9 stars connected in a line each shot out a ray of starlight. The 9 rays of starlight finally entered the 9 tortoise shells. It really is here. The entrance to the Heaven's Tribulation Demon Realm. Lin Feng took a deep breath. It was as he had imagined. This was the entrance to the Heaven's Tribulation Demon Realm. At this time, the 9 tortoise shells were floating in the air. A picture appeared on each tortoise shell. The 9 pictures intertwined in the air. In the end, the 9 pictures turned into a distorted door. The door spiraled in the air. Whoosh! Lin Feng flew directly into the door. He felt the world spinning. Soon, Lin Feng appeared in another world. This was an ancient forest. Lin Feng landed on the ground, and the 9 tortoise shells fell into his hands again. This world was suffused with a heavy aura that was like the primeval times. The Heaven's Tribulation Demon Realm. I found the Heaven's Tribulation Demon Realm. I wonder what secrets it hides. Lin Feng was delighted. He shot up into the sky and flew into the depths. When he passed by a mountain range, crack, crack. Suddenly, the mountain range split open. In the mountain range, a troll stood up. Human. It's actually a human. A human has entered the heavens tribulation demon realm. The giant devil let out a series of excited cries. He directly pounced on Lin Feng. Die! Lin Feng laughed coldly, rushed forward, and killed the troll with a supreme reincarnation punch. The troll's body exploded. It turned into the purest origin energy. This is... Lin Feng was shocked. The troll was not made of flesh and blood, but of the world's origin energy. Devour! Lin Feng burst into laughter and started absorbing the original strength of the gigantic demon. This world's origin energy could quickly increase a cultivator's cultivation base. This was because the world's origin energy was condensed. It was different from a cultivator's origin energy. A cultivator's origin energy had all kinds of impurities. When refining it, one had to think of ways to refine the impurities as well. Moreover, the effect was far from the world's origin energy. Human. Lin Feng had just swallowed the original strength of the earth and sky, which had turned into a gigantic demon. At this time, an earth-shattering roar came from the distant abyss. Another troll rushed out. This troll was much stronger than the previous one. The troll that rushed out from the abyss had 1,000 arms and 1,000 eyes. This was a 1,000-eyed, 1,000-armed troll. The 1,000-eyed, 1,000-armed troll roared and waved its 1,000 arms to attack Lin Feng. Chapter 908. The 1,000-armed and 1,000-eyed giant demon was indeed powerful. With this move, Lin Feng knew that this giant demon was 50 times stronger than the previous giant demon. Nomological Revolution. Lin Feng used the power of the nomological revolution and a nomological revolution condensed in the void. This nomological revolution swept towards the 1,000-armed and 1,000-eyed giant demon like a chain of order. The 1,000-eyed giant demon was instantly shattered by the nomological revolution. The nomological revolution condensed by a creation realm cultivator was naturally powerful. Then, the nomological revolution wrapped around the 1,000-armed and 1,000-eyed giant demon. The giant demon's 1,000 hands that were attacking Lin Feng suddenly grabbed at Lin Feng. In the void, waves of destructive power rippled. The 1,000-armed and 1,000-eyed giant demon wanted to destroy Lin Feng's nomological revolution, but it was obvious that the giant demon underestimated the power of the nomological revolution. The nomological revolution began to actively devour the giant demon's power. Now, this nomological revolution was being refined by Lin Feng. The internal structure of the nomological revolution began to change, and Lin Feng gradually gave it the ability to devour. As time passed, the 3 nomological revolution that Lin Feng had refined would subtly receive Lin Feng's ability to devour. The 1,000-armed and 1,000-eyed giant demon roared, wanting to cut off the nomological revolution. But at this moment, the nomological revolution that Lin Feng had produced suddenly lengthened. The nomological revolution itself could freely change. Lin Feng's nomological revolution was like an immortal binding rope, binding the 1,000-armed and 1,000-eyed giant demon. The giant demon struggled hard but was unable to break free. Nomological revolution. As expected of the nomological revolution, formed by the laws of heaven and earth, Lin Feng roared and stepped in front of the 1,000-armed and 1,000-eyed giant demon. He punched at the giant demon. Bang! With Lin Feng's punch, the 1,000-armed and 1,000-eyed giant demon directly exploded and turned into the purest origin energy of heaven and earth. Lin Feng activated his devouring martial spirit and directly devoured the origin energy of heaven and earth. Powerful dermic power surged in his body. The heaven and earth source energy formed by the 1,000 hands and 1,000 eyes was even more powerful, and the increase in cultivation was even more significant. Just as Lin Feng was refining the world essence power formed by the 1,000-armed, 1,000-eyed giant demon, an illusory figure silently appeared. This was a demon. This type of demon was called the Phantom Evil Demon. The Phantom Evil Demon was extremely strange and possessed powerful concealment techniques. The most powerful part of this kind of demon was its soul. The Phantom Evil Demon's body was very weak, so they would not fight their targets head-on. Instead, they would choose to hide beside their targets. Then, he suddenly launched a soul attack. Because the phantom evil demons were very difficult to detect, once they launched a sneak attack, many people would have their souls instantly destroyed, dying miserably at the hands of the phantom evil demons. Even if he was lucky enough to survive, his soul would be severely damaged. This was the terrifying aspect of the phantom evil demon. Its attack was not only silent, but it was also powerful enough. After the phantom evil demon sneaked up to Lin Feng's side, it let out a sinister laugh. Then, the phantom evil demon's powerful soul energy surged out, instantly entering Lin Feng's mind. It wanted to destroy Lin Feng's soul. "Little brat, I'll devour you." The phantom evil demon's soul energy condensed into a ferocious beast, baring its fangs and brandishing its claws. Buzz. An ancient lamp flew out. It suppressed the beast formed by the phantom evil demon's soul. Bang. Just one attack. The beast formed by the phantom evil demon's soul was instantly smashed to pieces. What a powerful soul energy. So it's a phantom evil demon. It dares to launch a sneak attack on me while I'm cultivating? It really doesn't know life from death. Lin Feng directly devoured the phantom evil demon's soul energy. A monstrous amount of magic power surged out, suppressing the phantom evil demon's true body. The phantom evil demon wanted to escape, but it was too late. It was directly suppressed by Lin Feng. Its soul was heavily damaged, and its whole body trembled. Spare me, young master." The phantom evil demon begged. "Someone like you dares to launch a sneak attack on me? Die. I'll devour you to increase my cultivation." Lin Feng was about to kill the phantom evil demon with a single palm. Not only did the phantom evil demon have a powerful soul energy, but its body was also formed by the origin energy of the world. After devouring it, it would be greatly beneficial to one's cultivation. "Young master, I'm willing to exchange a huge secret for my life," the phantom evil demon shouted. "Oh, a huge secret? What secret?" Lin Feng's eyes lit up. "Primordial demon liquid. Have you heard of primordial demon liquid?" the phantom evil demon asked. Lin Feng was shocked. He had naturally heard of primordial demon liquid. It was a liquid formed by the origin energy of the world. There were many different kinds of origin energy in the world. They were all called the origin energy of the world, but if they were carefully divided, they could be divided into many different categories. For example, there were immortal origin, Tao origin, divine origin, monster origin, and demonic origin. Naturally, there was also demonic origin. The origin energy that Lin Feng had refined from the thousand-eyed, thousand-armed giant devil was one of the origin energies of the world, the demonic origin. When origin energy was condensed into a liquid, it was called primordial liquid. Primordial liquid was purer and more powerful. After refining it, one's cultivation would increase even faster. However, primordial demon liquid wasn't an ordinary primordial demon liquid. It was formed by the condensation of primordial demon liquid. It was rumored that primordial demon liquid was a kind of energy formed at the beginning of the world. Countless years had passed. Primordial demon liquid was nowhere to be found. Not to mention the primordial demon liquid condensed from primordial demon liquid. Lin Feng hadn't expected that there would be primordial demon liquid in the realm of monsters. If he could obtain the primordial demon liquid, Lin Feng believed that he would be able to make another breakthrough very quickly. "Where is the primordial demon liquid? Tell me, and I'll spare your life," Lin Feng said. "Only I know where the primordial demon liquid is. If you kill me, you won't be able to obtain the primordial demon liquid. I can take you to find it." The phantom evil demon's eyes flashed with a strange light that was hard to detect, and then it said aloud. Lin Feng said indifferently, "All right, if you can bring me to find the primordial demon liquid, not only will I not take your life, I'll even give you a lot to help you condense a body of flesh and blood as soon as possible." The phantom evil demon laughed strangely and said, "You're really benevolent and righteous. This little one is impressed. Please follow me." South. The phantom evil demon flew towards the depths of the realm of monsters. Lin Feng followed behind the phantom evil demon. A day later, they arrived at a huge mountain range. The primordial demon liquid is in the depths of the mountain range, but it's very dangerous there. I have no way to enter, So whether you can obtain the primordial demon liquid will depend on whether you're strong enough. The phantom evil demon said, "All right, I'll go in and take a look." Lin Feng flew towards the mountain range. Just as he entered the mountain range, suddenly, rumble, a terrifying aura permeated the air. In the mountain range, a large array was intertwined. Outside the array, a sinister and terrifying aura spread out. Black fog rolled. One could vaguely see more than a dozen demons and fierce beasts hibernating within the black fog. Foolish human, I was lying to you. You actually believed me. Now that you're trapped in the killing array, let's see how you'll die. Chapter 909. The phantom evil demon thought that he had tricked Lin Feng, so at that moment, he was extremely arrogant and complacent. Today, I can finally taste the delicious flesh of a human. Brother Phantom Evil Demon, thank you so much. If you hadn't lured this brat here, we wouldn't have been able to taste the delicious flesh of a human. Many demons and beasts in the surroundings laughed evilly. They were all cruel and bloodthirsty. Lin Feng sneered and said, "Did you really think that I was lured here? I already knew that this phantom evil demon wouldn't cooperate with me obediently and would secretly scheme against me. So I beat him at his own game and let him lure me to your nest. I'll be able to catch all of you in one fell swoop and save me the trouble of looking for you." The demons and beasts were slightly startled when they heard that. The phantom evil demon sneered and said, "Brat, it doesn't matter if you were lured or if you beat me at my own game. You are now trapped in a great formation. This great killing formation is an immemorial killing formation. Although it's not as powerful as it used to be because of its age, it's still more than enough to deal with you. Haha, everyone. Let's activate the great formation and kill this human brat. I can't wait to taste his flesh and soul." A beast laughed evilly. This brat's bloodline seems to be extremely powerful. After eating him, we'll all be able to obtain great benefits. A giant demon roared. Then what are we waiting for? Activate the great formation and kill him. Boom, boom, boom. A group of demons and beasts started activating the great killing formation, wanting to kill Lin Feng. A terrifying chi pervaded the air from the great killing formation. That terrifying chi made Lin Feng's hair stand on end. It was as if an ancient demon had come back to life. Lin Feng had the feeling that his hair was standing on end. As expected of the immemorial slaughtering array, although it's extremely damaged, it still possesses the power to easily kill me. Although I'm a heaven rank array master now, it's not an easy task to break this immemorial slaughtering array. However, this isn't a problem for me. Dragon Rabbit, come out. Lin Feng waved his right hand. Dragon Rabbit was immediately summoned by Lin Feng. The Dragon Rabbit could freely shuttle through all kinds of killing arrays. This was the Dragon Rabbit's racial talent. He was born with it. The little guy and Lin Feng had a telepathic connection. It carried Lin Feng and jumped around the array. Boom, boom. The immemorial ultimate killing formation was activated by the demons and beasts outside. Waves of destructive energy blasted towards Lin Feng. However, Lin Feng followed the Dragon Rabbit and shuttled through the grand array. Lin Feng smoothly dodged all the attacks that came crashing down. Very soon, under Dragon Rabbit's lead, Lin Feng charged out of the absolute kill grand array. Lin Feng put the Dragon Rabbit back into the beast slave bag. At this moment, the demons and beasts outside also saw Lin Feng. The demons and ferocious beasts looked as if they had seen a ghost. They obviously didn't expect Lin Feng to be able to escape from the immemorial ultimate killing formation. Even if an ancient giant was trapped inside, the only path left for them would be death, right? How did Lin Feng escape? Many demons and ferocious beasts were extremely puzzled. However, these demons and ferocious beasts were originally vicious. After seeing Lin Feng come out, they were not afraid. Because they had the advantage in numbers, and Lin Feng was only one person. Attack together and destroy this brat. A ferocious beast roared and took the lead to charge towards Lin Feng. Immediately after, the rest of the demons and ferocious beasts also pounced towards Lin Feng. You want to kill and eat me with your meager cultivation? The corner of Lin Feng's mouth curved into a sinister smile. He waved his right hand. Rumble. All of a sudden, 3 laws flew out. These 3 laws were like 3 moving mountains in the sky. Their auras were heavy, and they sealed the world. They suppressed the demons and ferocious beasts. Bang, 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 along with the sounds of collision, one after another, could be heard. The laws collided with the demons and ferocious beasts. These demons and ferocious beasts were sent flying. Lin Feng rushed into the battlefield and punched a ferocious beast. That ferocious beast was sent flying by the laws. It still hadn't recovered from the shock. In the next moment, Lin Feng blasted its body apart and turned it into world origin energy. With the cooperation of the laws, Lin Feng was unstoppable. One by one, the demons and ferocious beasts were killed. This brat is ferocious. We are not his match. Run. The remaining demons and ferocious beasts screamed in fear and fled into the distance, wanting to escape. But how could Lin Feng let them escape? Every law was like a vigorous and powerful mountain range. They ruthlessly smashed down. Then, these demons and ferocious beasts were directly smashed to death by the laws. Their bodies then turned into the purest world origin energy. In the blink of an eye, only the phantom evil demon was left of the dozen demons and ferocious beasts. Lin Feng attacked the phantom evil demon with a palm. The phantom evil demon roared in fear. You can't kill me. I am the trusted aide of the White Tiger Demon Lord. If you kill me, the White Tiger Demon Lord won't let you go. You really have guts. Even now, you still dare to threaten me. I'll kill you first, then I'll kill the White Tiger Demon Lord. Lin Feng sneered and slapped down. When Lin Feng's punch landed on the evil spirit's body, it immediately exploded. Soul Search. Lin Feng stretched out his right hand and grabbed the phantom evil demon's primordial spirit that hadn't dissipated yet. His divine sense entered the phantom evil demon's primordial spirit. After searching, he learned a lot of information. It turned out that these ferocious beasts were the ferocious beasts under the White Tiger Demon Lord. The White Tiger Demon Lord was one of the most ferocious demonic beasts in the heavenly tribulation demon realm. It was extremely powerful and occupied an area. The reason why the White Tiger Demon Lord was so powerful was because the White Tiger Demon Lord had obtained a good fortune. That good fortune was that the White Tiger Demon Lord knew the whereabouts of the primordial demon liquid. The White Tiger Demon Lord would go and devour the primordial demon liquid every once in a while. Every time it devoured the primordial demon liquid, the White Tiger Demon Lord's strength would increase. Therefore, the White Tiger Demon Lord's strength was growing stronger and stronger. So this phantom evil demon's information about the primordial demon liquid wasn't groundless. However, the phantom evil demon's soul didn't have the specific location of the primordial demon liquid. It seems that only the White Tiger Demon Lord knows the location of the primordial demon liquid. Lin Feng narrowed his eyes and began to refine the world's origin energy he had devoured. 2 hours later, Lin Feng continued to fly towards the depths of the heavenly tribulation. Roar. Even though he was very far away, he could hear the roars of beasts shaking the mountains. In the distance, a 300-meter-long giant white tiger was fighting against a golden sky-splitting condor with a wingspan of 500 meters. The collision between the two fierce beasts was extremely fierce. The golden sky-splitting condor tore off a piece of the giant white tiger's flesh with its claws. The giant white tiger roared in pain and used its claws to fiercely slap the golden sky-splitting condor's body, sending it flying several hundred meters away. Wow! It's the White Tiger Demon Lord fighting against the golden sky-splitting condor. Lin Feng was shocked. He had obtained a lot of information from the Phantom Evil Demon's memories, including some of the overlords of the heavenly tribulation demon realm. For example, the golden sky-splitting condor that was fighting against the White Tiger Demon Lord was an overlord of the skies that was comparable to the White Tiger Demon Lord. Chapter 9:10. The golden sky-splitter condor was extremely fast as well. It flapped its huge golden wings. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. The White Tiger Demon Lord had no choice but to block the incoming wind blades. After the two sides clashed in the air, they quickly retreated. White Tiger Demon Lord, don't you think it's too greedy for you to monopolize the primordial demon liquid? If you know what's good for you, You should share the primordial demon liquid with us. Otherwise, today will be the day you die." The golden skysplitter condor's voice was filled with endless killing intent. The white tiger demon lord sneered. "You want to snatch the primordial demon liquid? You're overestimating yourself. What if we join in as well?" A cold laugh came from afar. A fire ape flew over quickly. The fire ape actually had two heads. The head on the left had 3 eyes. The right head had a single eye. It was extremely strange. Four-eyed fire ape, Lin Feng, who was hiding in the dark, recognized the origin of this beast. The four-eyed fire ape was also an overlord-level existence. Its strength was extremely tyrannical. Since it appeared here, it must have reached an agreement with the golden skysplitter condor to deal with the white tiger demon lord. Crack, crack. Suddenly, the ground split open, and a 1,000-meter-long yellow snake crawled out of the ground. Brilliant serpent. Lin Feng was shocked. It was an earth elemental sacred beast. White tiger demon lord, you're too greedy. You only know how to enjoy good things and don't know how to share them with others. You'll make a lot of enemies this way. We've known each other for a long time. Now, I'll give you one last chance to share the primordial demon liquid with us. If you don't cooperate, we'll have to kill you." The brilliant serpent spoke in human language. "You've come at the right time. It also saves me the trouble of going to your territories and defeating you one by one. Now that I've dealt with you all together, it saves me a lot of trouble." The white tiger demon lord sneered. The white tiger demon lord used to be on the same level as the 3 demon lord, but now that the white tiger demon lord has obtained the primordial demon liquid, the balance between them has been broken. The 3 ferocious beasts felt threatened by the white tiger demon lord, so they joined forces to kill the white tiger demon lord. Lin Feng narrowed his eyes slightly as he analyzed the sequence of events. Ferocious beasts were very cunning. They attacked, killed, and devoured each other to increase their own cultivation. If the white tiger demon lord grasps enough power, then the white tiger demon lord will be defeated. How could they not kill the 3 overlord-level beasts? Do it. The 3 overlord-level cultivators shouted coldly at the same time. Then, they split into 3 different directions and attacked the white tiger demon lord. They're going to fight. Lin Feng narrowed his eyes and completely concealed his aura. When the sandpiper and the clam fight, the fisherman benefits. If Lin Feng fought against these overlord-level beasts, it would be very difficult for him to kill them. Even if he could kill them, it would be a tough fight. But now, the white tiger demon lord was fighting against the 3 overlord-level beasts. If both sides were injured, Lin Feng was most willing to see it happen. Once both sides were injured, Lin Feng would have the opportunity to kill them all and devour them to increase his cultivation. Golden Sacred God-Splitting Slash. The golden sky-splitting condor let out a long cry and turned into a dazzling golden ray of light. It rushed up to the 9 heavens. It tore through heaven and earth. It attacked the white tiger demon lord. 5 Mountains Immortal Suppression Seal. The brilliant snake let out a loud roar and opened its mouth to spit out a gigantic mountain in the void. The mountain fell from the sky and suppressed the white tiger demon lord. This was a very powerful divine ability. It was said to be able to suppress immortals. From this, one could see how terrifying this divine ability was. The 4-eyed flame ape also attacked. Its 4 eyes opened. Blood wheel eye. The 4-eyed flame ape's cold voice sounded. Rays of blood-red light shot out from the 4 eyes. These rays of blood-red light contained a powerful destructive power. The 3 overlord-level beasts attacked the white tiger demon lord with their strongest attacks. They were trying to kill the white tiger demon lord with one attack. Do you really think you can kill me? How ridiculous. I've been drinking primordial demon liquid for a year. My cultivation has increased to a level that you can't even imagine. Since you want to die today, I'll help you. As soon as it finished speaking, the white tiger demon lord's body emitted a powerful chi. It was as if there was a god hidden inside the white tiger demon lord's body. Now that the god had awakened, it was releasing its own chi. The fluctuations were too terrifying. It made people's hair stand on end. Good heavens, the white tiger demon lord's chi is so terrifying. It was deliberately hiding its strength before. Lin Feng was shocked. Originally, The White Tiger Demon Lord was on par with the other 3 Overlord-level beasts. But now that the White Tiger Demon Lord had released its own chi, Lin Feng felt that the White Tiger Demon Lord's strength was at least 3 or 4 realms higher than the other 3 Overlord-level beasts. Such a big gap. This battle was going to be reversed. As expected, the White Tiger Demon Lord, who had displayed his full strength, exploded with terrifying battle prowess. It unleashed the Tiger King's roar to the heavens, shattering the attacks of the 3 Overlord-level ferocious beasts. Then, the White Tiger Demon Lord jumped up, turned into a white light, and attacked the golden sky-splitting condor. White Emperor Holy Beast Slash. At that moment, the White Tiger Demon Lord seemed to have transformed into an extremely domineering holy beast. One attack shattered heaven and earth. Shattered heaven. The golden sky-splitting condor wanted to dodge, but it was too late. It was torn in half by the White Tiger Demon Lord's white light. Then, the white light attacked the four-eyed fire ape. The four-eyed fire ape's eyes shot out 4 rays of blood-colored light, trying to block the White Tiger Demon Lord's white light. But the 4 rays of blood-colored light couldn't stop the White Tiger Demon Lord's attack. Pooh! The White Tiger Demon Lord rushed in front of the four-eyed fire ape and directly tore it in half. The four-eyed fire ape died. Seeing this, the brilliant serpent was so scared that its soul almost left its body. It wanted to drill into the ground and escape. But at that moment, the White Tiger Demon Lord charged over in the form of a white beam. Pooh! The brilliant serpent's huge body was cut into a dozen pieces by the White Tiger Demon Lord. But the vitality of snakes was extremely tenacious. The brilliant serpent was cut into a dozen pieces, but it still didn't die. The front half of the brilliant serpent's body fled towards the abyss. However, the white light that the White Tiger Demon Lord had transformed into slashed over. The brilliant serpent saw that it couldn't escape, and its cold eyes were filled with madness. White Tiger Demon Lord, if you want to die, we'll die together. Boom. The next moment, the brilliant serpent self-destructed. The White Tiger Demon Lord soared into the sky in an attempt to avoid the energy impact of the brilliant serpent's self-destruction. But it was too late. The White Tiger Demon Lord was swallowed up by the explosion. When the shockwave dissipated, the White Tiger Demon Lord appeared. At that moment, the White Tiger Demon Lord's body exploded into pieces. It was as if it would turn into a pile of minced meat at any moment. The origin energy of heaven and earth flowed through its body, barely preventing its body from shattering. Once I devour your source energy, I'll be able to recover very quickly. Although the White Tiger Demon Lord had suffered a near-fatal injury, it wasn't worried at all because the origin energy of the 3 overlords was still there. As long as it swallowed the origin energy, not only would it be able to recover, but its cultivation would also increase. The White Tiger Demon Lord was about to swallow the origin energy of the 3 overlords. Roar. Suddenly, a bestial roar shook the sky. Not good. The White Tiger Demon Lord looked terrified. Its injuries were too severe, and it couldn't fight against the other overlords. The White Tiger Demon Lord didn't dare to stay. It didn't even swallow the origin energy of the 3 overlords before it fled. Lin Feng took the Qiong Qi clone back into his body, then quickly rushed towards the origin energy of the 3 overlords. The mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. The White Tiger Demon Lord was severely injured, and it was like a frightened bird. So Lin Feng easily used the Qiong Qi clone to scare the White Tiger Demon Lord away. A centipede dies but never falls down. I'll let the White Tiger Demon Monarch escape first. When he recovers, I'll kill him quietly. That's the best choice. But the most important thing now is to refine the 3 overlords' ferocious beast essences and increase my strength. Lin Feng waved his hand and swallowed the origin energy of the 3 overlords. What's this? Suddenly, Lin Feng's eyes widened. His expression was full of disbelief, but then it turned into ecstasy. Chapter 9:11. Every single strand of principle radiated astonishing energy fluctuations as it hovered within the origin energy. It was a beautiful sight to behold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lin Feng counted. There were 43 strands of Dharma law in total. Lin Feng was overjoyed. If he could refine these Dharma laws, his strength would surpass that of a cultivator of the fourth celestial layer of the fortune realm. Dharma laws, Dharma laws. When a living being dies, the Dharma laws disperse, but the Dharma laws of these overlords are preserved. Lin Feng was astonished, but he also felt extremely lucky. These overlords were all fortune realm cultivators, so they naturally had Dharma laws in their bodies. However, when a living being died, the Dharma laws would disperse. Only special methods could seal 1 or 2 Dharma laws and prevent them from dispersing. The 3 overlords had 43 Dharma laws in total, which was beyond Lin Feng's expectations. Lin Feng guessed that it might have something to do with the fact that the overlords were condensed from the original strength of the world. Devour. Lin Feng waved his hand and devoured all the original strength of the world and the Dharma laws. Lin Feng quickly left to find a safe place to refine the original strength of the world and the Dharma laws. He went to a quiet valley and set up a Dharma spell to seal the valley. Then, he sat down cross-legged. After Lin Feng devoured the original strength of the world, his cultivation level increased greatly. He went from the middle of the 8th celestial layer of the yin-yang realm to the late stage of the 8th celestial layer of the yin-yang realm. Then, Lin Feng started refining the 43 strands of Dharma laws. Despicable human boy, how dare you refine us? You're courting death. Let's kill this human boy together. Go to hell. The Dharma laws manifested the silhouettes of the 3 overlords. It was the power of their primordial spirits that hadn't dispersed yet. Whoosh! The 3 silhouettes rushed towards Lin Feng's soul, baring their fangs and brandishing their claws. They wanted to destroy Lin Feng's soul. However, Lin Feng sneered and the primal chaos ancient lamp flew out. You don't know the difference between life and death. The primal chaos ancient lamp descended from the sky, suppressing the 3 beasts. No! The 3 ferocious beast phantoms cried out in fear. They wanted to flee, but it was too late. The primal chaos ancient lamp suppressed them. With a pong sound, the 3 vicious beast phantoms exploded, turning into the purest form of soul power that was absorbed by Lin Feng. Then, Lin Feng began to refine the 43 laws one by one. 3 days later, all 43 strands of law had been successfully refined by Lin Feng. Within Lin Feng's dantian, there were a total of 46 strands of law energy. It was like a primordial beast was hibernating within it. Feeling the tyrannical spiritual energy in his body, Lin Feng had the feeling that he could shatter the heaven and earth with the rays of his hand. This heavenly tribulation demon realm is truly my blessed land. How long have I been here? My cultivation has increased by more than 10 times. Lin Feng smiled. I wonder how the White Tiger Demon Lord is doing. It's time to kill the White Tiger Demon Lord and obtain the law energy in his body. At the same time, I'll also obtain information about the primal demon liquid. Lin Feng directly soared into the sky and flew towards the White Tiger Demon Lord's nest. The White Tiger Mountain Range was a continuous chain of mountains. The mountains were majestic and ancient, and the ridges were as strong as the bodies of dragons. This was the White Tiger Demon Lord's nest. At that moment, many ferocious beasts were patrolling around the mountain range. They were the Demon Lord's subordinates. Now that the White Tiger Demon Lord had been severely injured, his subordinates would definitely be on high alert. However, Lin Feng easily deceived them and arrived at the deepest part of the White Tiger Mountain Range. In a valley, the White Tiger Demon Lord was lying on the ground. His body was constantly splitting apart, but the essence was gathering back together. Every time he split apart and gathered back together, his injuries would heal a lot. The White Tiger Demon Lord's healing method was quite strange. Although the White Tiger Demon Lord has been severely injured, he's too strong. If he counterattacks before death, he might kill me, so I need to be very careful. Lin Feng narrowed his eyes and didn't act rashly. He noticed that the sky was gradually darkening. Lin Feng waited for the sky to completely darken, then used the darkness escape technique to hide his body. Then, he launched a peerless stab at the White Tiger Demon Lord. Time passed. Darkness descended and covered the earth. The White Tiger Demon Lord was lying on the ground weakly, recovering from his injuries. Lin Feng had already quietly moved. He carefully sneaked towards the White Tiger Demon Lord. The darkness escape technique that he cultivated was also a peerless escape technique. It allowed him to move forward in the darkness. It was as difficult as ascending to the heavens to find him. However, Lin Feng didn't let his guard down because of this, because the White Tiger Demon Lord was very strong. The slightest movement would be noticed by him. Lin Feng wanted to kill the White Tiger Demon Lord in one hit. One hit. He wanted to kill the White Tiger Demon Lord, so that the White Tiger Demon Lord wouldn't even have a chance to counterattack. Lin Feng lurked above the White Tiger Demon Lord. This was the best place to assassinate him. He was waiting for the best moment to arrive. At this moment, Lin Feng was like an assassin in a dynasty of assassins. Extremely patient. Either he didn't make a move, or once he did, it would be a thunderous attack that would instantly kill his opponent. Finally, Lin Feng found an opportunity. Something seemed to have happened while the White Tiger Demon Lord was healing. His body emitted a violent fluctuation. Crack, crack. The White Tiger Demon Lord's body began to crack. It had suffered such a serious injury, so it was naturally impossible for it to heal in one go. The White Tiger Demon Lord was trying hard to prevent his body from completely shattering. At this moment, Lin Feng made his move. He descended from the sky, holding the Black Dragon sword in his hand, and stabbed towards the White Tiger Demon Lord. The White Tiger Demon Lord, who was trying hard to suppress his injuries, didn't expect that someone would sneak over to assassinate him. So for a moment, he was stunned. Immediately after, the White Tiger Demon Lord roared and waved his huge claws towards Lin Feng, wanting to send Lin Feng flying. However, it was all too late. Lin Feng was too close to the White Tiger Demon Lord. He attacked in a flash. As fast as lightning, the sword stabbed down, leaving the White Tiger Demon Lord with no way to dodge. Poochie. Lin Feng's sword instantly pierced through the White Tiger Demon Lord's head, and then his right hand suddenly shook. There was a loud bang. The White Tiger Demon Lord's body directly exploded. Lin Feng grabbed the White Tiger Demon Lord's remnant soul. Lin Feng's divine sense invaded the White Tiger Demon Lord's remnant soul and found information about the primordial demon liquid. This made Lin Feng very happy. He turned his head to look at the White Tiger Demon Lord's world origin energy and saw that there were 81 laws entrenched in the world origin energy. Every strand of principle vibrated with a murderous aura. The White Tiger was in charge of killing. So the White Tiger Demon Lord's law also contained endless killing intent. Haha, 81 laws. Great. Let me devour them all. Chapter 9:12. Roar, roar, roar. Outside the White Tiger mountain range, roars shook the sky. Ferocious beasts rushed over from all directions. It's a human. What a powerful flesh and blood essence. The White Tiger Demon Lord was killed by him. Let's go together and kill this human and devour his flesh and blood. After seeing Lin Feng, the powerful beasts immediately roared. Those ferocious beasts threw themselves at Lin Feng. Lin Feng looked cold and detached. He took a step forwards and threw a punch. It was like a god had descended to the world. Everything in his path turned into nothingness. Fierce beasts were killed by Lin Feng one by one. Lin Feng's body emitted an endless domineering aura, allowing the beast tide to kill him. One punch, one person, one punch, broke the sky and shattered the earth. Countless beasts were killed. This brat isn't human. He's too abnormal. Run. The horde of beasts was being slaughtered to the point of trembling in fear. Many ferocious beasts fled for their lives. Lin Feng directly devoured the origin energy of heaven and earth formed by the dead beasts. Then, he flew into the distance. 5 days later, a figure was flying quickly in the forest. It was Lin Feng, who had just come out of seclusion. Now, Lin Feng's body had reached 127 precepts. It could be said to be tyrannical. Purely based on the number of precepts, he could directly crush a 5th-level creation realm cultivator. 300 miles to the west, there's a Black Demon Mountain. In the Black Demon Mountain, there's a Demon Cliff. The Demon Cliff contains an incredible amount of death energy. Any living being who enters the demon cliff will be corroded by death energy and die. The primordial demon liquid is in the depths of the demon cliff. This was the information Lin Feng obtained from the White Tiger Demon Lord's memory. The reason why the White Tiger Demon Lord could enter was because of the White Tiger killing intent condensed in the Demon Lord's body. The White Tiger killing intent restrained the death energy in the demon cliff. In this world, all kinds of powers were mysterious and unfathomable. Soon, Lin Feng saw a huge mountain range. In the depths of the mountain range, black peaks towered between heaven and earth. For huge peaks surrounded each other, forming a cliff. That place was the Black Demon Cliff. Lin Feng entered Black Demon Cliff. The power of death surged over, wanting to devour Lin Feng. You want to devour me? How ridiculous. Lin Feng activated the Dao character, Death. The Dao character Death was the source of the great Dao, and it countered the power of death. Sure enough, after the Death Dao character was activated, the surrounding death energy began to disperse. However, it did not completely disperse. White Tiger killing intent. Lin Feng circulated the laws of the White Tiger Demon Lord within his body. In an instant, a terrifying killing intent emanated from his body. This was the White Tiger's killing intent. The White Tiger killing intent was similar to the heaven-punishing battle will that Lin Feng comprehended earlier. Both of them belonged to a type of momentum. Moreover, because the White Tiger was mainly used for killing, the White Tiger's killing intent was extremely heavy. Once enveloped by the White Tiger's killing intent, many people would instantly lose their will to fight. There were millions of types of momentum, and each type was naturally different. After the White Tiger's killing intent spread out from Lin Feng's body, it immediately dispersed the power of death that still lingered around Lin Feng's body. The Dao character, Death Dao, and the White Tiger's killing intent combined perfectly, making it difficult for the power of death to invade Lin Feng's body. Lin Feng arrived at the bottom of Black Demon Cliff, where he discovered a pool. The pool was enveloped by an endless amount of death energy, and it was filled with primordial demon liquid. From time to time, primordial demon liquid overflowed from the pool, then gathered together and flowed out. It seems that the White Tiger Demon Monarch has no way of getting close to the pool. It comes here every once in a while because it needs to wait for the primordial demon liquid to gather together. Many little drops make an ocean. Lin Feng narrowed his eyes and walked towards the pool. Pool of death, I am the god of death, harvesting lives. Suddenly, a deep and cold voice sounded. Then, a man wearing the god of death's robe appeared. His body was surrounded by an endless amount of death chi. That man called himself the god of death, and he was an evil spirit that had been born from the death chi. The god of death stepped forward and attacked Lin Feng. He wanted to kill Lin Feng. A mere evil spirit dares to call himself the god of death? You're overestimating yourself. Today, I will kill you, evil spirit. Lin Feng looked indifferent. He stepped forward and used his supreme reincarnation fist. Bang! Lin Feng and the god of death collided. They both retreated a few steps. Despicable human, accept the punishment of the god of death. God of death destroys the world. The god of death attacked again, trying to kill Lin Feng. Devouring martial spirit. Increase fighting strength by 5 times. Lin Feng started to circulate his 5 devouring martial spirits. The magic power in his body had increased by 5 times. Lin Feng's chi became violent. He attacked the god of death with his supreme reincarnation fist again. This punch was not something that the previous punch could compare to. With an explosion of 5 times his combat strength, the supreme reincarnation fist was pushed to the pinnacle. Lin Feng collided with the god of death again. His spine moved like a dragon, and the muscles in his right arm bulged. His spiritual energy flowed through his arm. His entire arm seemed to have become thicker in an instant. This peerless and invincible punch landed on the body of the Grim Reaper, causing his body to explode. The god of death disappeared into thin air and turned back into death energy. Death energy? Can it increase the strength of my Dao character, death? Lin Feng couldn't help but think. He started to devour the death energy. Lin Feng devoured an endless amount of death energy. His actions could be described as crazy. Everyone avoided death energy. Lin Feng actually dared to take the initiative to devour it. If others saw this, they would probably be scared to death. The death energy was far inferior to the death energy that entered Lin Feng's body. It was all devoured by the death of Tao. Lin Feng's death of Tao was only at the minor mastery realm. It quickly reached the major mastery realm, then the perfection realm, and then the perfection realm. In Lin Feng's Dantian, lightning suddenly intertwined above the divine ability array formed by the death of Tao. This was called divine ability evolving lightning. It meant that this ability had been cultivated to the extreme. Suddenly, a hazy and mysterious figure appeared above the divine ability array. He was like the Lord of the Underworld, the Lord of Death. His every move was mysterious and filled with endless power. It was as if he could destroy the world. Suddenly, a lot of information appeared in Lin Feng's mind. His death of Tao had reached the perfection realm. He had awakened one of the 3,000 great Daos, the great art of death. Between the various worlds, there were 3,000 great Daos that were separated from the world. Rumor had it that as long as one could cultivate any of the 3,000 great Daos to the perfection realm, they could break through to godhood. For example, Lin Feng's 5 Emperor's Dragon Fists, when cultivated to the peak, would transform into the 5 Elements art. There was also the Great Purification art that Lin Feng had learned. They were all part of the 3,000 great Daos. At that moment, in Lin Feng's brain, there was a dense list of cultivation methods. The Great Death Art. It's actually one of the 3,000 great Daos, the Great Death Art. Lin Feng looked at the information in his brain. His heart was pounding violently. Chapter 9:13. Haha, I actually obtained the inheritance of the Great Death Art. It's comparable to an Emperor art. Even with Lin Feng's mental state, he couldn't help but laugh out loud in excitement. An Emperor art was a supreme technique created by a great emperor. Any Emperor art had the power to destroy the world. The 3,000 great Daos evolved into 3,000 divine abilities when the Tao reached its peak. Some of the 3,000 great Daos were auxiliary great Daos. For example, the Great Purification art could forcefully convert people into their slaves. The Great 5 Elements art could communicate with the power of heaven and earth and allow a cultivator's cultivation to advance by leaps and bounds. These 3,000 great Daos weren't offensive great Daos. Among the 3,000 great Daos, there were 72 offensive great Daos, such as the Great Karma art, the Great Creation art, the Great Reincarnation art, the Great Death art, the Great Destruction art, and so on. Naturally, there were differences in strength among the 72 types of offensive 3,000 great Daos. However, even the weakest type of offensive 3,000 great Daos was comparable to an Emperor technique in terms of power. Lin Feng's Supreme Reincarnation Fist was powerful enough, but it wasn't a complete Emperor art. It was equivalent to an Emperor art's embryonic form. As for the Great Death art, it was equivalent to a complete Emperor art. Once it was cultivated, Lin Feng didn't know how strong it would be, because he hadn't started cultivating the Great Death art yet. Lin Feng waved his hand, and the pool of primordial demon liquid was stored in a spatial bottle by Lin Feng. This amount of primordial demon liquid could last Lin Feng for a long time. This is the best place for seclusion. I'll cultivate here for a while, and cultivate the Great Death art. Then, I'll try to break through to the 9th level of the Yin-Yang realm. Lin Feng sat down cross-legged and began to comprehend the Great Death art. Just as Lin Feng began his seclusion, a huge spatial door began to form in the void 300 miles away from Lin Feng. Boom! The stone door in the void directly opened. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. One figure after another flew out of the void gate. There were more than 100 cultivators. Their auras were powerful and deep. They were also very young. These cultivators were all wearing the attire of the Yuhua Immortal Dynasty. This meant that these cultivators were all from the Yuhua Immortal Dynasty. Is this the heavenly tribulation demon territory? A pleasantly surprised voice sounded. Then, a woman walked out. This woman had a picturesque appearance. She was like a woman who had walked out of a painting, giving off an otherworldly and elegant feeling. If Lin Feng saw this woman, he would definitely be very surprised. This woman was actually Lu Mingyan. After Lu Mingyan was defeated by Lin Feng in the sect competition, she followed Huangfu Qingtian into the secret realm of ether to cultivate. Now, it seemed like he had come out of seclusion. It wasn't just his temperament that had changed. Furthermore, his cultivation seemed to have improved significantly. Now, Lu Mingyan no longer seemed to be a small figure in the past. She exuded a noble aura. Beside Lu Mingyan were over a dozen core disciples of the Blue Cloud sect's Green Sky Peak. For example, Luo Shengtian, who had sent Li Jianshao to the divine land of the East County to kill Lin Feng, was also among them. Luo Shengtian was the saint of the Blue Cloud sect. A few years ago, his cultivation was about to break through to the creation realm. This person had also entered the secret realm of ether to cultivate. There seemed to be a primordial beast hibernating in his dantian. That was the power of the laws. Obviously, Luo Shengtian had broken through to the creation realm. Haha, we really have to thank the third prince this time. Otherwise, how could we enter the heavenly tribulation demon territory? A young elite of the Yuhua immortal dynasty said with a smile. Huangfu Qingtian was the third prince of the Yuhua immortal dynasty. The method to enter the heavenly tribulation demon territory was also obtained by Huangfu Qingtian from the secret realm of ether. In the secret realm of ether, it was rumored that there was the inheritance of the heavenly emperor. The heavenly emperor was the ruler of the undying realm. Many sages and emperors had to respect the heavenly emperor. Huangfu Qingtian had obtained the inheritance of the heavenly emperor, which was why he was so terrifying and could suppress the younger generation. At such a young age, he had already cultivated to an unfathomable realm. Everyone, we still have things to do. You can all train in the heavenly tribulation demon territory. I heard from senior brother Huangfu that there are source beasts everywhere in the heavenly tribulation demon territory. After killing them, those source beasts will turn into the source energy of heaven and earth. Devouring the source energy of heaven and earth can greatly improve your cultivation. You can go hunt those source beasts. Lu Mingyan said, then soared into the sky and left with Luo Shengtian and the others. Seeing Lu Mingyan and the others leave, a young cultivator of the Yuhua immortal dynasty sneered and said, "This woman is too arrogant. She has no respect for us." Back then, she was just a lowly servant. If it wasn't for her water spirit body, would the third prince have kept her by his side? We're all relatives of the Yuhua immortal dynasty, but now we have to listen to her. There's no need to be angry with this kind of person. The third prince is still waiting to dual cultivate with her and use her primordial yin to improve his cultivation. Once this woman has no value, she will be abandoned like a pair of worn-out shoes. Being angry with this kind of person will damage our status. Another young master flicked the dust off his clothes and said, "Haha, let's go and kill the source beasts." The group of people flew into the distance. Lin Feng naturally didn't know that Lu Mingyan, Luo Shengtian, and the other young experts of the Yuhua immortal dynasty had entered the demon realm. He was in deep seclusion. First, he bitterly cultivated the Great Death technique. After he had mastered the Great Death technique, he began to refine the primordial demon liquid to improve his cultivation. Lin Feng refined the primordial demon liquid while refining the divine source in his body. Every time he refined a part of the divine source, Lin Feng's immortal god blood would awaken more. As time passed, Lin Feng's qi became more and more tyrannical. Lin Feng's immortal god blood increased from 10% to 13%. The recovery of the immortal god blood was a relatively slow process. Lin Feng was already very satisfied with this rate of improvement. Immediately after, Lin Feng's body emitted a tyrannical fluctuation. Above Lin Feng, a heavenly law's embodiment of heaven and earth appeared. The heavenly law's embodiment of heaven and earth stood on a heavenly dragon. Its head was the firmament, and it wore an imperial robe. Its body emitted a noble aura, and its eyes were filled with vicissitudes of life. It was like a supreme holy emperor who had enlightened tens of thousands of people. In Yang Stage 9, it would condense a heavenly law's embodiment of heaven and earth, and Lin Feng's heavenly law's embodiment of heaven and earth. It was a holy emperor. I've finally condensed a heavenly law's embodiment of heaven and earth. My strength has broken through to Yin Yang Stage 9. Lin Feng opened his eyes, revealing a joyful expression. He soared into the sky and flew outside. Pa, pa, pa. As soon as he flew out of the demon cliff, Lin Feng was attacked. Numerous blood-red branches whipped towards Lin Feng. The power of those branches was too terrifying. They directly shattered the void. Chapter 9:14. It was a blood-colored ancient tree that was about 10 meters tall. Its trunk was like a dragon's, vigorous and powerful. This was the Ironblood ancient tree, an ancient demonic tree that had long disappeared from the outside world. That ancient iron blood tree's attack was extremely powerful. Lin Feng was astonished. However, Lin Feng's current cultivation was too tyrannical, so even though he was ambushed by the Ironblood ancient tree, he didn't panic at all. He reached out with his right hand and made a grasping motion. A cracking sound could be heard as the branch of the ancient Ironblood tree flew toward him. What a powerful brat! The Ironblood ancient tree's face couldn't help but cry out. The ancient Ironblood tree's branches quickly extended outwards. Then, it wrapped around Lin Feng's body. At the same time, a silvery white ferocious beast appeared behind Lin Feng without making any sound. It had the head of a dragon, the body of a qilin, the tail of a snake, and the scales of a fish. It was extremely strange. The terrifying creature stretched out its sharp claws towards Lin Feng's head, wanting to crush Lin Feng's head. There were actually two terrifying beasts hiding here that wanted to ambush Lin Feng. Lin Feng felt the sinister aura behind him. He reacted quickly and stomped his feet on the ground. A large part of the cliff collapsed as he fell towards the Devil Cliff. The silver-white beast behind Lin Feng also fell into the Devil Cliff. However, it quickly soared into the sky and attacked Lin Feng again. However, at this time, Lin Feng had already jumped into the air. Heavenly fire surged out and wrapped around the Ironblood ancient tree. Fire restrained wood. This was the principle of the 5 elements restraining each other. Therefore, no matter how powerful the Ironblood ancient tree was or how strange its methods were, it was still completely restrained by Lin Feng. Whoosh! Sure enough, the Ironblood ancient tree's side was set ablaze. The Ironblood ancient tree let out a miserable scream. It didn't dare to hesitate and quickly threw Lin Feng away with its branches. Then, the branches ruthlessly slammed into the ground, wanting to extinguish the flames. But how could the heavenly fire be extinguished? Lin Feng's expression was indifferent. He rushed forward and punched at the ancient Ironblood tree. The ancient Ironblood tree wanted to resist. However, it was instantly engulfed by the heavenly fire and had no power to resist Lin Feng's attack. Lin Feng punched the ancient Ironblood tree. After the ancient Ironblood tree was killed, Lin Feng absorbed its original strength and the 27 cosmic energies of the tree. When the silver-white beast saw that the ancient Ironblood tree had been killed, it turned around and fled. "I can't escape," Lin Feng sneered. He quickly chased after the silver-white beast and killed it. Lin Feng also devoured the heaven and earth origin energy and the 27 strands of heavenly principles formed by the silver-white beast's body. 200 miles away from Lin Feng, a group of people from the Yuhua immortal dynasty had joined forces to hunt all kinds of source beasts. After devouring a large number of origin beasts, many people's cultivation base had increased greatly. Roar, roar, roar. Roars shook the sky. The cultivators of the Yuhua immortal dynasty were besieging a Tao Wu. More than 100 cultivators attacked together. The powerful Tao Wu was directly killed. Only the heaven and earth origin energy and the 81 strands of heavenly principles were left in the void. Oh my God, so the rumors are true. After these origin beasts died, the laws in their bodies didn't dissipate. The cultivators of the Yuhua immortal dynasty roared excitedly. In the outside world, it was very difficult to obtain the laws after killing a creation realm beast. This was because the laws would dissipate. But here, all the laws were perfectly preserved. After all, there were 81 strands of laws. After a yin-yang realm cultivator refined them, their cultivation base would directly skyrocket. They would be able to crush any yin-yang realm cultivator who hadn't refined any laws. This was the terrifying part of the laws. It could allow a person to complete a qualitative transformation. Many people's eyes were burning. There were a total of 81 strands of laws, but there were more than 100 people here. Naturally, some people would be able to get a share of the laws, while others wouldn't. A cultivator of the Yuhua immortal dynasty named Huangfu Su said, "How about this? We'll distribute the laws according to our strength. Of course, those who didn't get the laws don't have to worry. The heavenly tribulation demon realm is so huge, there must be a lot of creation realm beasts. When the time comes, we'll kill those creation realm beasts one by one. Everyone will be able to obtain the laws." Huangfu Su was Huangfu Qingtian's cousin and the heir of the Yuhua immortal dynasty. His status was much nobler than the other members of the royal family. In addition, he was at the creation realm, so no one dared to go against his words. Everyone nodded and agreed. Then, these people began to distribute the laws. After Lin Feng refined the heaven and earth origin energy and the 54 strands of laws from the ancient ironblood tree and the silver-white beast, he headed to the next destination, Dragon Lake. This was the place where a level overlord lived. A black dragon lived inside. The black dragon was at the 6th level of the creation realm and had 243 strands of laws in its body. Lin Feng now had 181 strands of laws in his body. Although there was still a certain gap between him and the black dragon, Lin Feng's divine abilities were too powerful and were enough to make up for this gap. Lin Feng had just arrived at the Dragon Lake. The black dragon that was resting at the bottom of the Dragon Lake suddenly opened its eyes. The aura of a human. Could it be that a human has entered the heavenly tribulation demon realm? This is great. I've always wanted to taste human flesh and blood. Today, I can finally fulfill my wish. Then, the black dragon soared into the sky. Its 1,000-meter-long body was like a mountain ridge in the air. Its pitch-black scales emitted a cold and gloomy luster. Lowly human brat, die. The black dragon stretched out its huge claws and clawed at Lin Feng. You're just a black dragon condensed from the origin energy of heaven and earth. You're not a real dragon and don't know any dragon language divine abilities. How dare you be so arrogant in front of me? Today, I'll kill you. Lin Feng rose up in the air and started fighting against Hei Long. After 300 rounds, Lin Feng found Hei Long's weak point. He threw a supreme reincarnation punch at Hei Long's neck. Bang! A huge hole was blasted open in the black dragon's neck. The black dragon was instantly heavily injured. Immediately after, Lin Feng used Sky Splitter to completely cut the black dragon's body into two. Dao's death. Lin Feng's attacks were endless, and the Dao's death suppressed the black dragon. The black dragon's huge body exploded and turned into pure origin energy of heaven and earth. 243 strands of the power of law spiraled in the air. Lin Feng was about to collect the origin energy and laws of heaven and earth. Suddenly, a flying sword slashed down from the sky. It was actually a Dao artifact flying sword. That Dao artifact flying sword was as fast as lightning, spitting out flames. This flying sword was called the Fire Demon Sword, and it was forged from the Fire Demon Bloodstone. Blow and break. Slay demons. With a flick of his finger. 1,000 miles away. Human level. Chapter 9:15. What a powerful Fire Demon Sword. If it were someone else, their head would have been chopped off by that sword. But it won't be easy to kill me. Celestial Absorbing Jar. Come out. Absorb another treasure for me today, murmured Lin Feng. Lin Feng waved his right hand, and the swallowing heaven jar flew out and floated in front of him. When the Fire Demon Sword slashed down, the swallowing heaven jar released a powerful devouring force that enveloped the sword. It began to devour the Fire Demon Sword. The Fire Demon Sword struggled violently. Lin Feng punched the Fire Demon Sword. The Fire Demon Sword intent was dispersed. The swallowing heaven jar seized the opportunity and directly devoured the Fire Demon Sword. Then, it erased the soul imprint in the Fire Demon Sword. Lin Feng poured his magic power into the Fire Demon Sword to refine it. This treasure is quite suitable for me. It's a fire elemental treasure. If I use heavenly fire to refine the Fire Demon Sword and get rid of the impurities, the Fire Demon Sword's power will increase greatly. Lin Feng played with the fire demon sword in his hand. He didn't leave after devouring the origin energy and laws of heaven and earth formed by the Black Dragon. Because Lin Feng wanted to see who had ambushed him, who had also entered the realm of beasts. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Soon, figures flew over from afar and landed on the ground. There were more than 100 of them. How did you get in? A cultivator looked down at Lin Feng and asked with a gloomy face. They didn't recognize Lin Feng. Lin Feng said indifferently, if you can come in, why can't I? Boy, hand over my fire demon sword. A young cultivator with a pale face glared at Lin Feng. He was the son of a prince of the Yuhua immortal dynasty. He was at the 10th layer of the Yin-Yang realm and was the crown prince of the Yuhua immortal dynasty. This fire demon sword was a treasure that he had obtained by chance in the past. So the fire demon sword is yours? You tried to kill me with the fire demon sword, but you failed. Now that I have the fire demon sword, it's my treasure, said Lin Feng indifferently. Immediately after, he put his demon fire sword away. Seeing this, the crown prince of the Yuhua immortal dynasty was so angry that he almost vomited blood. Boy, you're courting death. That crown prince laughed sinisterly, his face filled with dense killing intent. If looks could kill, Lin Feng would have already been cut into 1,000 pieces by that glare. I can crush a piece of trash like you to death with a single hand. You dare say I'm courting death? Said Lin Feng disdainfully. The crown prince was not the only one who was angry. Even the rest of the people from the Yuhua celestial dynasty were incomparably furious. Lin Feng was fighting against so many strong cultivators of the Yuhua celestial dynasty alone. Do you know who we are? We're relatives of the imperial family of the Yuhua immortal dynasty. Another young expert of the Yuhua immortal dynasty said coldly, I'm not blind. I know you're from the Yuhua immortal dynasty. Lin Feng curled his lips. When he saw these people, he recognized their clothes. Only the imperial family of the Yuhua immortal dynasty was qualified to wear such clothes. Lin Feng and Huangfu Qingtian had a 10-year agreement. In addition, Lin Feng had used a Dao weapon to kill Huangfu Dushang from the Yuhua celestial dynasty. Lin Feng had long been at odds with the Yuhua celestial dynasty. Therefore, Lin Feng didn't show any mercy to the people of the Yuhua immortal dynasty. He attacked and killed. He couldn't be merciful. Being merciful to these people was cruel to himself. He would be killed by them sooner or later. Boy, you know who we are, and you still dare to be so arrogant? Another cultivator of the Yuhua immortal dynasty asked in disbelief. Lin Feng was speechless. Where did these people get their sense of superiority from? Was it because they were born in a major power like the Yuhua immortal dynasty that they were superior to others? Lin Feng sneered. Idiots. You want to kill me, but you want me to speak politely to you? Why bother talking nonsense with this boy? I'll go and kill him. A tall and sturdy cultivator with a centipede scar on the left side of his face laughed sinisterly. His name was Huangfu Tuesday. He was from a branch of the Yuhua immortal dynasty. He was estranged from the imperial family. However, Huangfu Tu's talent was extraordinary. Therefore, he was heavily nurtured by the Yuhua immortal dynasty. Boom, boom. Huangfu Tu took a step forward. Terrifying waves of energy swept out, causing the void to ripple slightly. In his dantian, a tyrannical aura was awakening. A law? You actually refined a law. Lin Feng frowned. Huangfu Tu laughed out loud and said, Boy, are you scared now? Go to hell. As soon as he finished speaking, Huangfu Tu directly used a law to suppress Lin Feng. The law emitted the aura of the vicious beast Swanni. It was obvious that Huangfu Tu had obtained the law of a vicious beast after killing it. What a pity. What a pity. These laws were obtained by you. Lin Feng shook his head. Kill the Swanni. The law did not disperse. He could refine it now. But if the law was refined by another cultivator, the law would be tainted with the cultivator's aura. When the cultivator was killed, the law would disperse. Lin Feng stepped forward. With a light tap of his finger, he directly broke Huangfu Tu's law. Nobody expected Lin Feng to be so tyrannical. Originally, these people only saw Lin Feng kill a vicious beast from afar. But because they were too far away, they did not see clearly what kind of vicious beast it was. Lin Feng's cultivation level was at the 9th level of the Yin-Yang realm. Naturally, these experts of the Yuhua Immortal Dynasty did not take him seriously. At this moment, they realized that they had made a fatal mistake. They had underestimated Lin Feng. Huang Fu too quickly retreated. He wanted to avoid Lin Feng, but Lin Feng grabbed Huang Fu Tu's neck and lifted him up. "Boy, hurry up and let him go." Many people of the Yuhua Immortal Dynasty shouted coldly when they saw Huang Fu Tu being caught. The people of the Yuhua Immortal Dynasty looked extremely gloomy, but they did not act blindly without thinking. After all, Huang Fu Tu was still in Lin Feng's hands. Huang Fu Tu was a proud person. Now, he was being held by the neck by a cultivator who was one level lower than him. It could be said that he was humiliated. Huang Fu Tu shouted angrily, "Boy, you better hurry up and let me go. Otherwise, you will definitely die here today." The expressions of many people of the Yuhua Immortal Dynasty changed slightly. Many of them secretly cursed Huang Fu Tu for being brainless. How could he threaten that brat at this time? That brat was obviously someone who was not afraid of anything. He did not care about the Yuhua Immortal Dynasty at all. "Now, you should say some soft words. When this brat lets you go, he will have no hostage." Everyone could do whatever they wanted to him. Now that you threaten that brat like this, who knows what unexpected things might happen? You don't know life from death. Lin Feng looked coldly at Huang Fu Tuesday. His right hand grabbed Huang Fu Tu's neck. His left hand pressed down on his head and suddenly twisted. Crack. Huang Fu Tu's head was directly twisted by Lin Feng. Lin Feng casually threw Huang Fu Tu's corpse on the ground. Chapter 9:16. "You're courting death. You're courting death," shouted the cultivators of the Yuhua Immortal Dynasty furiously when they saw that Lin Feng had broken Huang Fu Tu's neck. Their eyes were filled with killing intent. Lin Feng had dared to kill a cultivator of the Yuhua Immortal Dynasty in front of so many cultivators of the Yuhua Immortal Dynasty. "Do you know that you've caused a great disaster? Not only you, but also your clansmen will suffer the wrath of the Yuhua Immortal Dynasty," said Huang Fu Su coldly, looking at Lin Feng. His eyes were filled with killing intent. "You don't have the strength to act tough. You're just courting death," said Lin Feng, smiling coldly. "What a sharp-tongued brat. Today, I'll kill you myself." As soon as he finished speaking, Huang Fu Su leaped out with a sword in his hand. That sword had a great history. It was called the Spring and Autumn Sword. According to legends, it was a peerless sword passed down from an era called the Spring and Autumn Era. Since the creation of the world had experienced countless disasters and countless eras. The Spring and Autumn Era was a short and chaotic era. There were battles everywhere, and this era ended not long after. The sword is 7 feet and 3 inches long, 4 inches and 5 centimeters wide, and it weighs 792 kilograms. Today, I'll use this Spring and Autumn sword to chop off your head and offer it to Huang Fu Tu's spirit in heaven. Huang Fu Su walked forward step by step. Each time he took a step, his sword intent condensed and condensed. Huang Fu Su's spirit had already reached the level of intent realm. This person definitely had a very deep understanding of sword Dao. Huang Fu Su's sword Dao is incredible. Now that he's going to attack, he'll definitely be able to kill that little boy. I've sparred with Huang Fu Su before. His swordsmanship is incredible. Many strong cultivators of the older generation can't compare with Huang Fu Su in terms of swordsmanship. Let's watch Huang Fu Su's performance. The group of cultivators from the Yuhua Immortal Dynasty clearly admired Huang Fu Su's strength. In their opinion, since Huang Fu Su made a move, Lin Feng would definitely die. Lin Feng looked at Huang Fu Su indifferently and said, "The Spring and Autumn sword is indeed a famous sword. I once saw someone at an auction who wanted to buy the Spring and Autumn sword at a high price. I never thought that this treasure would end up in your hands. Well, since I've seen the Spring and Autumn sword today, there's no reason for me not to take it." "How dare you?" Huang Fu Su shouted coldly as a cold light flashed in his eyes. Swordsmen loved their swords as much as their lives. How could he allow others to covet his treasured sword? "Little brat, I won't let you die so easily. I'll cut off your flesh piece by piece. Huang Fu Su stepped forward and used the spring and autumn sword technique. Time was like spring, full of vitality. The autumn wind was bleak and chilly. This was the spring and autumn sword technique. It had the vigorous vitality of all things awakening in spring. What is spring? At the beginning of the year, 10,000 flowers bloomed. The spring and autumn swordplay also had the bleakness of autumn. What is autumn? The coldness locked the autumn. The falling leaves were like rain. The heart was cold. Huang Fu Su's first sword was the bleak autumn wind and the falling leaves. In the void, leaves floated down one after another. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. These weren't real leaves. They were leaves condensed from sword chi. The leaves were like sharp swords as they shot towards Lin Feng. Lin Feng's body was torn apart, one wound after another. Blood immediately flowed out of his wounds. What a good move, the bleak autumn wind and falling leaves. The sword chi is like falling leaves. It's really powerful. Lin Feng stretched out his right hand and grabbed a falling leaf that was flying towards him. He shook his hand lightly and the leaf was shattered into pieces. This is just the beginning. Later, I'll let you have a taste of death by 1,000 cuts. Huang Fu Su sneered coldly. Amazing, amazing. Huang Fu Su's swordsmanship has already reached the level where the sword can connect to the gods. Seeing Huang Fu Su's power, many people from the Yuhua celestial dynasty cheered excitedly. A cold wind blew. Fallen leaves fluttered. In the void, dense leaves once again floated down. This time, there were even more leaves. They blotted out the sky and covered the earth. It was impossible to count how many falling moons were floating in the sky. The world seemed to have turned into a world of falling leaves. A countless number of leaves were moving towards Lin Feng. The falling leaves were like swords, slashing towards him. Lin Feng stepped forward in the sky full of falling leaves. He waved his hand and cut open a path. He quickly rushed out and charged towards Huang Fu Su. Humph! Take another move of my spring flowers bloom like rain. Huang Fu Su slashed out with his sword again. The swordsmanship he displayed now was even more powerful. In the void, petals fell down one after another. One flower, one world. These petals represented the vitality of spring and autumn, but they also represented the endless killing intent like the sea. In the extreme, the brilliance was sublimated, blooming the most beautiful side. In the brilliance, there was killing intent, burying the years of life. One flower after another appeared and bloomed. A terrifying killing power surged out from it. The void was instantly torn apart. This move was really powerful. The destructive power caused by it was too strong. Many people of the Yuhua immortal dynasty were shocked and moved, because the aura emitted by that move made them feel suffocated. Not to mention Lin Feng, who was attacked by this move. As expected of Huang Fu Su, who comprehended the essence of the spring and autumn sword technique, this move already has the meaning of a grandmaster swordsman. That kid is dead. The cultivators of the Yuhua immortal dynasty sneered and looked at Lin Feng as if they were looking at a dead man. What a powerful swordsmanship! Lin Feng was shocked. Lin Feng also had a deep understanding of swordsmanship, but Lin Feng cultivated too many powerful skills after all. A person's energy was limited, so it was difficult for him to spend all his energy on swordsmanship. Huang Fu Su was different. He specialized in swordsmanship. His understanding of swordsmanship had indeed surpassed Lin Feng by a lot. Lin Feng even felt a trace of danger from Huang Fu Su's spring flowers bloom like rain. However, it was only a trace of danger. Huang Fu Su's cultivation was only at the second level of the creation realm. So what if his swordsmanship was divine? The nomological laws in his body were too different from Lin Feng's. Absolute power. It could crush any move. Lin Feng circulated the 181 nomological laws in his body. Monstrous magic power surged. Lin Feng raised his right hand. His arm was like a sword and directly slashed out. Countless falling flowers were torn apart. Lin Feng took a step forward and appeared in front of Huang Fu Su. You! Huang Fu Su was shocked. He didn't expect Lin Feng to break his swordsmanship so easily. I'll take your sword. Lin Feng stretched out his right hand and lightly tapped Huang Fu Su's forehead. Poof! A tyrannical magic power shot out and penetrated Huang Fu Su's forehead. His body flew backward and fell to the ground, dead. Lin Feng held the spring and autumn sword in his hand. It shook slightly. The spring and autumn sword hummed. The sword hums in the sky. The divine sword has a spirit, as expected of a peerless sword. Lin Feng looked at the spring and autumn sword in shock. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.